The Dads return home to Monte Vista High School after a short trip on the road. A win yesterday, a 3-1 victory against the Menlo Park Legends has the Crawdads on a 2-game winning streak. But again, returning home to the sunny skies of Walnut Creek and ready for action against the Alameda Merchants today, who they have split so far 1-1. So it should be a good one this afternoon. Alongside me, Charlie Lemoncelli. I'm Harry Satraki, and our producer, Jack Brooks, are excited to bring to you today's edition of Crawdads Baseball.
That we are, and should be a pretty good one here today, Harry. I mean, these are two teams with 6 wins apiece in conference play in the CCL, so lots of good baseball. Both can pitch well, both can hit well. Should be fun.
Yeah, Crawdads at 6-4 have a half-game deficit to the Alameda Merchants, who are 6-3. As today's pregame show is brought to you by Up the Creek Records. Up the Creek is a great record shop right next to the Ace Hardware in downtown Walnut Creek. They buy and sell new and used vinyl records, CDs, and cassettes, as well as skateboard gear, and a variety of other fun gifts like yo-yos and hacky sacks. They also have an all-ages live music venue that hosts local bands every weekend, so check out who's playing at upthecreekrecords.com or their Instagram at upthecreekrecords. Let's check out what's been happening up the creek. And Charlie, yesterday, a 3-1 victory, like I mentioned, but it was all about the pitching and defense. The bullpen for the Crawdads combined for 17 strikeouts, tying a program record.
That they did, and check all of them out here on this highlight set. We'll take a quick break while you folks can have a look at that. The 1-2. Wave and a miss. Outer third slider for Alessandro Martinez. 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the first.
Tenchers 2-2 home. Sweeper swung on and missed. Strike 3. He went high in the zone, and Aikawa goes down with swinging. Swears this time a little earlier. Duarte off the hill on a hop. He throws to the covering O'Toole, and it goes into right field. He short-hopped him. Moss will score easily. Right behind him, here comes Riley Winchell. Here's the throw into the plate. It's going to be in time, and they nab Riley Winchell going to the plate. Ramos on the play ends up at third base. Peyton Rolls chops one up the middle. Ramos will come home to score. Eric Altmark, so to first, is in time, but it's 2-0 Crawdads. Brand, the righty, home. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Here's Winchell throwing to second, and they got him at second base.
1-2 now. Bull shoots it the other way. That'll get down in fair territory and into the corner towards the 326 sign. Coming around second into third goes Aldridge. And into second, Bryden Bull, an opposite field double. Now ahead 1-0. Here it comes. Breaking ball sent towards the middle. That'll do the job. A chopper to Kelly. He'll fire from short to first. And it chases Aldridge in from third. Bull goes to third. Bad batter of the day. 3-2. Swing and a miss, and he did it. Carlos Hernandez fans Carlos Cruz Mar, and the Crawdads tie. They're all. Carlos Hernandez with the first save of the season for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, but for the pitching staff, it all started with Alessandro Martinez, the starter, who went 3 innings and 5 strikeouts. That's as long as we've seen a Crawdads starter go, matched with Kalani Haregi from the day before. So seems like the starter's now getting some more run, and well, they're making the most of it so far, Charlie.
Yeah, 1,000%. Alessandro Martinez just looked disgusting yesterday. Slider, fastball, all he throws, and man, was it really good. 5 strikeouts, 3 innings, just 2 hits, no runs, and no walks. That's the key total, Harry. 17 strikeouts for Walnut Creek to just 1 walk. When they're pitching like that, it is so hard to hit this bullpen. A lot of these guys for Walnut Creek just have really nasty stuff, and that's likely what we're going to see again later today.
Yeah, talking about nasty stuff, Miles Tencher came in after Martinez. He was the one who had the lone Crawdad walk, but he's a guy who does struggle to find the zone sometimes, so 1 walk to 3 strikeouts in 1 inning of work. I mean, that is an exceptional outing for him. He was working the zone well with the sweeper and the sinker. Then it was Miles Brand who went 2 innings and added 4 strikeouts of his own. Noah Zirkle did not have a strikeout and gave up the lone run, but that being said, still limited Menlo Park to just the 1, which, I mean, it was a 2-0 ball game when he came in, so that was all that he could have given up. So kind of tiptoed on the edge there. Then Jacob Coburn came in the next inning. So this was now the 8th. And he struck out the side. He gave up a double, but also was averaging about 93 miles an hour on his fastball. He's got the fastest average fastball in the entire CCL, 90.4 on average miles per hour, Charlie. So he was gassing it. Then again, the aforementioned Carlos Hernandez, no hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts to get the save.
Yeah, it was just fantastic stuff on the bullpen for Walnut Creek. But now today, another really great set of arms set to go in and pitch today against Alameda for Walnut Creek.
Yeah, it'll be Dylan Scott starting today's game, and we'll let you know more about today's game after this short break. Crawdads looking to extend a 2-game winning streak to 3 back at home. We'll be back on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Welcome back to the Up the Creek pregame show on the Crawdads Streaming Network, previewing today's game, Charlie. 5 keys that we have after the bullpen anchored victory yesterday. And, well, they look something like this. You're closer. You got it over there.
Yeah, first thing, find ways to get on base. The Crawdads yesterday struggled a little bit more in the offensive department than you might think. 5 total hits on the day, 3 runs scored. They got to give the pitchers a little more run support, especially against a team like Alameda that is so potent in every facet of the game. You need a bigger cushion because the pitchers look good for Walnut Creek, but the bats have to also catch up. They looked really good earlier this season. They've kind of gone a little bit downhill, need to find the footing again.
Absolutely, and again, we want them to back up the starter just as it happened yesterday. So the bullpen to keep it rolling. We're expecting 3 or 4 innings out of Dylan Scott, so see how far he can get you. Then the Crawdads have announced 4 pitchers to come up behind him, so if they can, again, keep it rolling like they did yesterday, try to rack up the strikeouts and limit the walks. And for me, I'm more looking at how they limit the walks rather than racking up the strikeouts. You can still get the in-play outs, but the walks is where things kind of start to go haywire in these CCL games. So, again, limiting to just 1 and 9 innings yesterday is exceptional. So try to keep that rate up.
1,000%.
Then number 3 to get to the Merchants bullpen. Starting pitching for the Merchants has been really, really solid. So trying to get past that starting arm is going to be key for the Crawdads offense. Then number 4 is to fill an Ellis-sized gap again. If you remember 2 days ago, Ryan Ellis was out of the lineup. Kevin Parker Jr. was in his spot batting third, and, well, he did very well, but as well as that, the guys around him really helped out. Peyton Rolls had a 3-hit ball game, drove in a run, scored 2 himself, and Kevin Parker Jr. reached twice via a couple of errors on the shortstop, Feliciano of San Francisco, and he came around to score once. So the part of the lineup where Ellis usually is was still able to produce runs without him. So going to have to do it again without him in the starting lineup. But who do you think might be a contributor to that effort?
Well, manager Brent Cummings put Bryden Bull in the 3 spot to quite literally replace Ellis word for word. And you could argue in terms of the left-handers in this lineup, Bull is the only guy even close to matching Ellis's production. And frankly, you could argue that Bull has more production than Ellis. More RBIs, the same amount of homers. I think Bull leads Ellis in doubles this season already. I mean, this is a guy who has been a little bit quieter his last couple of games. Did go 1 for 4 with a double yesterday. But if he can heat up again, I mean, that would be monumental for the Walnut Creek offense.
Bryden Bull had a double and on 2 hits his first time against the Merchants. And then finally, final key to the game is to play dominant, because the 2 games against the Merchants so far have been fairly up and down, fairly close. 1 loss, 1 win, but the win fairly exciting. Charlie, you were here for that one.
Yeah, it was a walk-off RBI single from Peyton Rolls, just flared it into the right center gap, got the job done. Kevin Parker Jr. came around to score in the bottom of the 9th. That was the second game of conference play. That was Saturday, June 6th, if my memory serves correct. Anyway, Walnut Creek, they could really use a dominant outing and just kind of remind Alameda of the team that they are at their peak. I mean, they've showed it to Menlo, they've showed it to San Francisco, but Alameda's played them close. The Crawdads could certainly use a very big margin of victory today just to reestablish themselves as, the true number 2 team in the North, because right now they sit at number 3.
Yeah, the run production for the Crawdads been slightly down after a 4-game winning streak that they enjoyed. They were averaging 11 runs per game on the 4-game winning streak when they were home last week, but then hit a bit of a 3-game skid where they were only scoring about 4 runs a game. So they've kind of been on that lately too. Had 7 back here at home against San Francisco a couple days ago, and then yesterday just had the 3 against Menlo Park. So trying, I think, early and often is going to be the key for this offense. And it, again, goes back to the first key of the game, finding ways on base. It all starts with that because didn't quite do it yesterday, but when they did get on base, it forced the hand of the Legends defense, and, well, some defensive mistakes led to Crawdad runs, and finally got an insurance run across again in the top of the 9th, enough for them to win. So
that's
looking to, yeah.
It's what's going to happen in the California Collegiate League. You put the ball in play, good things happen. And I think for both teams, today is going to be a favorable day. You can see the wind in center field starting to blow towards the left field side. Already a warm day here in the high 70s, low 80s. So it's going to be a beautiful day. The ball should hopefully fly a little bit more than it has the past 2 days.
Yeah, the wind does tend to blow in here a little bit, and often also sometimes switches up to after pre-game to during the game. So could see that play a role right now. And like you said, though, from right to left field directly. So see if the righties can pull the ball, get it in the jet stream, and try and ride one out of here. But that said, we'll come back quickly on the Up the Creek pregame show. Got a few more points for you before first pitch today. Charlie Limoncelli, Harry Zatraki, and our producer, Jack Brooks. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Today's first pitch, time and temperature are brought to you by Meadowlark Dairy, an official partner of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Meadowlark Dairy bringing Old Town vibes and family fun since 1919. 72 degrees and sunny. It's what you dream about, Charlie. It's only going to get colder from then, and first pitch set to be at probably right at 4:05 p.m. here in Pacific Sunlight Time. Taking a look at who will be throwing the first pitch. Today's starting pitcher matchup sponsored by Danville Chocolates, an official partner of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. And for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, it's the left-hander Dylan Scott.
Yeah, Scott's been really fantastic to start his Crawdad career. This will be his third appearance in conference play already. 6 innings, 5 strikeouts to 1 walk and 6 total hits, only 3 earned runs to his tally. He's also been credited with a win early on this season. He's just a strike thrower. He throws a slider and a four-seamer that get the job done. Occasionally we'll mix in a changeup, but other than that, he just kind of induces that soft contact against these opposing hitters, and they have a lot of problems with him.
And we'll see who's helping him out. Behind him on the Crawdads defense from left to right in the outfield, Dylan Perez, Bryden Bull, and Shane Aldridge out there. And then going to the infield, Elijah Ramos and TJ Woodson on the left side with Peyton Rolls and Barrett Ronson on the right. And it's Brandon Clisby behind the plate, putting down the signs. Catching, again, the lefty, Dylan Scott, who's set to face this Alameda Merchants lineup. 1-1 season series split so far. And it's Isaiah Landry to lead things off. The righty against the lefty. Perez, first pitch in, is taken for called strike 1. The Merchants line it up. Landry, Braden Smith, and Trey Johnson. They're due up in this first inning against Scott. Then Cal Sander, Kai Laxa, and Fabian Gomez, 4 through 6. As the next pitch outside evens things up. 7-8-9 goes Ethan Reeder, Matt Gonsalves, and Nico Rodriguez. Just 3 lefties in the lineup, very well dispersed. Against the lefty as this one swung on and fouled away on the right side, goes to 1-2. Scott gets ahead.
Yeah, just a really good recovery pitch from Scott. Not that he was down or anything. 1-1. Missed with the slider on the 1-0 or the 0-1 pitch, and then decides to come at it with another fastball there and able to get some bite.
So now way ahead, 1-2. He can pick anything he'd like to throw. Shot down the right field line, foul towards the Crawdads bullpen, and hopping over the fence. Stays even at 1-2. Landry played in one of the 2 games so far against the Crawdads, is 1 for 4 with a double and a strikeout against Walnut Creek pitching. Trying to avoid a strikeout here, down 1-2. Going to have to do some work. With the pink gloves, hot pink, and the blue helmet, awaits. Pulls one to third. Diving is Ramos. They're going to say he got it on the fly. No, that it was down. He makes the throw to first anyways. So the play complete. Nice play, Elijah Ramos, to start things off.
He's such a smooth fielder. No matter where you place him, he's good at second, he's good at short, he's good at third base. Challenge there on a really low line drive that did end up bouncing in the dirt, handled it really well, and then took his time with the throw to make sure it was good.
So a smooth dive to his glove side to make the first play of the game. Now Braden Smith, the right fielder, batting .387, stands in and goes after the first one, shoots it through the right side. It's the first knock of the game, first base runner of the game for Alameda. Beautiful opposite field approach against the lefty Scott.
And you're going to live with that if you're Dylan Scott. You're going to allow these Merchants hitters to get weak contact off against you. It's a great approach from Smith, does the job, goes the other way. But now if you're Scott, you've got a left-hander at the plate. You can try to get another soft contact ball in play and roll a pair.
So it's Trey Johnson who stands in, the first lefty from Brentwood, California, to meet Scott, who tosses over to first. Johnson, .364 hitter. Also slugging over 600, 636 in the on-base. Astronomical as well. .512, though, is only 1 for 6 against the Crawdads this season. And another check on the runner Smith at first. He's back easily. Smith, worth keeping an eye on over there. Has attempted a steal this year, but was unsuccessful, so it's 0 for 1, but might go. As the first pitch finally comes in, a breaking ball taken for ball 1 to the designated hitter. The Merchants, not a team that run a whole lot, but they do possess the CCL's best batting average as a team, .319. As a team, that's difficult to do. It's the 1-0, another breaking ball, front door swung through. Ball and a strike, but only 13 stolen bases attempted. They're 8 for 13.
Yeah, they've just been able to get it done through contact, and it's been really impressive. It's so fundamentally sound.
So Scott looks to Smith on first and comes home. Another breaking ball to the lefty is fouled back.
It's 3 straight sliders that Dylan Scott has gone to here. Really favors it in the way it breaks against left-handed hitters. Gotta wonder if he's going to change speeds here to Johnson or just go with the old reliable. I wouldn't be surprised. Another slider this time on the outer third to get a nasty wave.
So 1 down, Scott up 1-2. And another breaking ball swung through for strike 3. Scott gets the second out in his first strikeout. Johnson goes down swinging.
And just overpowers him, not with the fastball, but with the off-speed pitch. Dylan Scott, if he can get that pitch moving and working it against both the left-handers and the right-handers, he's going to have a really nice outing.
He'll face Kyle Sandner now, who is a righty. I mentioned 3 lefties in this lineup, hitting 3rd, 6th, and 9th. So every 3 batters, the lefties very evenly dispersed for the Merchants as the first pitch to the righty Sandner's taken for strike 1. Sandner 0 for 7 against the Crawdads this season so far, but he has put every single one of those 7 into play.
That he has.
No strikeouts.
And also yesterday coming off of a really big game, 4 for 5 with a double and 3 singles against the Eagles.
Quick check on the runner at first. Braden Smith gets back. Barrett Ronson kind of had to scoop that one up, get his body in front of it. He's already made a couple picks today. Only 2 outs in, 3 batters in. And he's got him picked off, so Scott's got him in the rundown. Now the throw to second, though, is off the glove of Rolls, and a gift for Braden Smith. He will get second base as the throw from Ronson came in a bit high, but Rolls tried to put the tag on him before catching the ball. And so, again, a gift of second base for Braden Smith after Dylan Scott had him dead to rights.
Yeah, Dylan Scott does a fantastic job just coming off of the mound right in time. And Ronson and Rolls have a little bit of trouble with it, a tough throw, and then Rolls got a little antsy trying to make up for the lost time and the high throw, put the tag down too early.
So still 2 down, an 0-1 count. Scott comes in and fires, looked like a 2-seamer off the outside corner for a ball evened up to Sandner. So the error placed on Ronson, the throw a bit too high. But regardless, for Scott, just got to focus on the batter, get the final out. He'll check a bunch of times on Smith at second. Now brings it home. It's a breaking ball, fouled back. Really making these hitters kind of rock back and forth with their timing so far.
It's just what good pitchers do. You mix up the speed, you keep the hitters off level. They don't know really what's coming. And Scott's doing a really good job of that right now. He just needs to focus on the guy at the dish. Don't have to worry about the guy on second with 2 outs. Just make a nice pitch and either get the strikeout or weak contact.
2-strike pitch, fastball swung through. Strikeout number 2 in the inning and on the game for Scott. And he strands the runner at second. So after a 1-out single, nothing doing. Back-to-back strikeouts. Scott, good first inning. Crawdads lineup coming up. Alameda's starting pitcher warming up, and we'll take a look at him. The starting pitcher matchup is sponsored by Danville Chocolates, an official partner of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. It's all righty, Griffin Sutton, Charlie.
Yeah, Sutton making, I believe, his second appearance of the season against Walnut Creek. He's got 2 appearances. This is his first start of the season. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs on 4 Ks. Has allowed 2 home runs, which is certainly important with a Crawdad lineup that certainly can put the bop to the ball.
They can, and this is how manager Brant Cummings has aligned it for today. Peyton Rolls leading off once again with Elijah Ramos in the 2-hole, and Bryden Bull moving up from the cleanup spot yesterday to the 3-hole. So there's the 3 straight lefties here, too, in Bull, Perez, and Sutter Moss. So a bit of a lefty killer's row with Barrett Ronson behind him, rounding out the second third of the lineup. Then finally, the final third. Shane Aldridge, the lefty, and then Brandon Clisby and TJ Woodson rounded out. Woodson, who's been so excellent in that 9 spot. They're just keeping him there. He's kind of the second leadoff guy, the reverse table setter, if you will.
And he's been so good at doing that. He makes really good contact, has gap power, has quite a few doubles already this year. It's just a perfect spot for TJ Woodson to be in.
So it is, in fact, Peyton Rolls who climbs in the right-hander's batter's box to begin things today. Rolls, who's just been a hit machine, and yesterday on the road was held in check a little bit, but still managed to drive a run in the 5th inning on a fielder's choice. However, was 0 for 4 in his effort, or 0 for 3, I should say. First pitch to him, a tailing fastball that's taken for strike 1 on the inside corner. Against the Merchants so far this season, 4 for 6 with a double and a run batted in. And we'd expect more of that from Peyton Rolls, who's just been seething in the dirt ball 1.
Rolls is a guy that really likes to see pitches in every at-bat. A good hitter with 2 strikes in the count. He just chokes up and makes really good contact into the outfield. So I wouldn't be surprised if he takes here.
1-1, he swings instead and fouls it right on back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, really, really uncharacteristic to not see him on base a single time yesterday. But again, he technically drove in what was the winning run in the 5th inning on a fielder's choice. It's behind 1-2 with pitch from Sutton, a breaking ball fought off.
Really good way for Rolls to just foul that off at the end of the bat, stay alive. Filthy breaking ball from Sutton there. He's looked pretty good in command of the strike zone.
It's a team that can also pitch very well. 4.14 team ERA. Crawdads at 4.04. Both really solid staffs so far. The 2-2 is pulled on the ground to third. High hop for Rodriguez. He can't handle it. Kicks off the glove, and well, no play is going to be made. It's going to be an error on the third baseman. So already errors for both sides. Let's see if the Crawdads can take advantage of this one, though. So taking a look at Elijah Ramos, who's come up here now with a runner on first. He has just been excellent at staying in the zone, but also making contact in the zone, but most importantly, not missing as Peyton Rolls goes ahead. Throw down to second is just a bit late. He's safe in there. Pitch was a strike, so Peyton Rolls swipes second base. Again, the pitch to Ramos was a strike, as you saw that it was a 9.1% whiff rate on the season. So whiff rate means you swing and miss at a pitch in the strike zone. And he's only, again, done that 9% of pitches that he's seen in the zone. So that's the best in the entire CCL, 100th percentile. Can't get any better, Charlie.
No, not at all. And Ramos is just a fantastic contact bat at the top of the Crawdad order. Kind of expected Peyton Rolls to go there. That's his 8th stolen bag of the season.
It's an off-speed pitch, comes up here towards the stands. It will stay on just on the edge of the fence and crash down for strike 2. Thankfully avoided the patrons here today.
And
they're all
coming down hard.
Yeah, and they're all over here in the shade, smartly hiding away from the sun on the left side of us. But now Ramos is behind 0-2 with Rolls bouncing around at second. Sutton pulls a fastball way outside for a ball.
Got to wonder if Rolls got into Sutton's head a little bit there. I mean, he just dances and dances and dances off of second base. I'd say 12 to 14 feet from the bag.
Getting a healthy lead over there. Second baseman Reeder not really holding him on. As the breaking ball is pulled foul. Though Nico Rodriguez made the scoop anyways. Nico Rodriguez, the third baseman. Kai Laxa, the shortstop, with Ethan Reeder at second. And over at first is Fabian Gomez, outfield left to right. Goes Sander, Landry, and Smith with Gonzalez behind the plate. One ball, 2 strikes. Elijah Ramos awaits and fires a breaking ball back to the screen.
Like we talked about, just so good at the contact tool. I mean, he's fouling off pretty much everything from Sutton here. Big righty's got a really tough time trying to get a whiff.
1-2. Rolls going to go for third. Pitch inside. Gonzalez throw down is away. It was actually called a strike, but it gets away, and Rolls is going to trot home. So it's a strikeout looking of Elijah Ramos, but the stolen base of third and then the throwing error by the catcher gets the first run home. A little unorthodox for the Crawdads, but they'll take it absolutely.
That it is. And, you know, that's exactly what manager Brent Cummings wants for the Crawdads. Just make some noise on the base path, force some errors on the defensive end, and the Crawdads have struck first. That's important. They usually win games when they score first.
So Bryden Bull, the big, tall lefty freshman, stands in and fouls one back. Well, he technically redshirt freshman, did not play this season at Ole Miss, and after the game last Thursday, his Ole Miss Rebels, unfortunately, were eliminated from the College World Series in Omaha. It was a big comeback by Troy. 7 runs down, they came back. So here's an 0-1 to him, just off the inside corner, maybe a bit low for a ball, but I talked to him briefly after the game, and he was kind of dejected about it. He's, I lost twice today. Because that was the game against the Blues last Sunday, rather, not Thursday. And now he hits a high fly to center field. Coming in is the center fielder, Landry. He's got a beat on it, and he'll put it away.
Tough one there from Bull, just got well under it. I mean, we know he's got crazy power to take it to either of the foul poles or dead center. But unfortunately for him, just swung well under that fastball at the top of the zone.
And he got a good swing off on it, too. Just, again, like you said, right under it. Swung hard, and that's why it got so high up there. Is now Dylan Perez in charge of trying to continue this inning. Batting 167 into today with a 324 on base. Sutton's first pitch outside. Perez was batting second in yesterday's lineup. Got on base once via a walk as he watches a 55-footer break way too early and smack the dirt before home plate. But again, Perez did have a walk, a stolen base, got over to third base up in the fourth, but did not score. As an off-speed pitch taken way outside, ball 3, he's way ahead.
I like this approach from Dylan Perez. He's been aggressive to start his Crawdad career at the plate. And in this one, he's just not swinging the bat. He knows Sutton's having a bit of trouble locating. Now he can take advantage.
As there's finally a strike from the starter Griffin Sutton in there. Fastball get me over, 3-1 now to Perez. Batting cleanup today in the midst of 3 straight lefties in Bull, Perez, and Moss. Next pitch, 3-1 on the inside, strike 2. We saw a fairly wide zone yesterday. That's kind of putting it lightly. But today looks like a little bit more concise on the outside edges.
Yeah, I'd agree, but that was just a fantastic pitch from Sutton. Painted that low inside corner.
Perfectly spotted. Now a payoff pitch is just off the outside for ball 4. So Perez another walk, as he did yesterday. That'll bring up the third lefty of 3 in Sutter Moss, who's just been, swinging it so well and working the gaps. 6 for 20 in his last 6 games, and those are all the 6 hits on his season, 4 of which have been doubles. So he is an extra base machine right now, finding his swing. He's moved up to the 5 spot as the DH. He was batting 7th yesterday. He'll go after the first one and foul it off. But this is a guy, Charlie, just has such a sweet swing, and when it works, which it has been, kind of after a bit of a slow start, man, he can get hot.
Absolutely. I mean, he hit 10 homers and 10 doubles his freshman season at Delta College amongst the JUCO ranks. Now, 2 springs ago in 2025, finding that form and at a perfect time for Walnut Creek.
Swing has been smooth like Sutter. Bluff to go at first did Perez, and Moss takes a breaking ball, just above the dirt. So officially the run for Peyton Rolls was kind of exactly what we said at first. He stole third, but then an error by the catcher allowed him to come home as Moss takes a strike, goes to 1-2. So the run unearned to Sutton. It's now the 10th unearned run of the season for the Alameda Merchants, who rank 5th in the CCL coming into today in fielding percentage. Next one way wide to Moss. He'll take it for ball 2. And a team that already now has 2 errors just in the first inning, and they only had 11 on the season so far, 4th fewest in the CCL, so now 13 total. might be dropping their rank. 2-2 to Moss. Inside corner, called strike 3. Sutton hit it beautifully a couple of times that inning and did it as the kill pitch. Crawdads get one, though it's unearned on a couple errors after Peyton Rolls burned around the bases. 1-0, Crawdads lead it. Charlie Limoncelli, Harry Citracki, and our producer Jack Brooks. Crawdads have a 1-0 lead after an eventful first inning. Couple of errors. Chased home a big Crawdad run to get things started. So hoping to score early and often as now Kai Laxa faces Dylan Scott, and a backdoor breaker lands for strike 1. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Alameda. The shortstop Laxa, the first baseman Gomez, who's a lefty, and then the second baseman Reeder. Laxa takes the ball just outside. Laxa 313 on the year so far, or in the summer, I should say. 2 for 4 against the Crawdads. Drove in 3 runs, one of them via a sac fly last time they played. Next pitch off the hands towards Rolls. He'll handle it at second on a soft line drive for out number 1. Quick work of Laxa as Dylan Scott keeps rolling through 12 pitches in the first inning. A very, very solid rate. And gets 1 out on 3 pitches to begin the second. You're shooting for about 15 pitches an inning, and he's at 15 pitches through 1 1/3. It's now Fabian Gomez, the lefty, fouls one away promptly. Gomez a bit of a rough game when he played the Crawdads the first time. 0 for 4, all 4 of which were punch-outs. So he got the old golden sombrero. The lefty trying to make this a bit of a revenge game. Takes a fastball up high for ball 1. Dylan Scott, 4 innings his last time out against the Seagulls in a win. There's strike number 2 to Gomez. 9-4 win on June 7th. 4 innings of really solid ball. Just gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned. 2 strikeouts. Did give up a blast. 2-strike pitch comes in, is fouled towards the Crawdads dugout, stays at 1-2. Gomez, the lone hitter in the lineup today, hitting under 200 at 190. Again, this is the team with the highest team batting average in the entire CCL, so not a lot of sub-200 hitters, not even a lot of sub-300 hitters. As Scott's 1-2 is fouled away off the third base line. Gomez stays alive, trying to avoid his 5th straight strikeout against Crawdad pitching. And he might need a new piece of wood. So something must have chipped off the end of the bat. Got that one really right off the end on the outward breaking slider from Dylan Scott. Just had the hitter Gomez entirely fooled, so he'll grab a new bat. Looks very, very similar. The white ash finish on the top, painted black from the barrel down, or below the barrel down. 1-2 from Scott, just got a piece of it. Looked like a changeup bearing in on the lefty. Noah Zirkle out to make the play from the Crawdads dugout. So stays at 1-2. Gomez at least putting up a fight but still way behind on Scott, the lefty. Scott kicks and fires, pulled foul. Charlie's really been working, especially the lefties, but all hitters with lots of different types of velocity, and he's keeping them off balance for sure.
Absolutely. Dylan Scott is just so fantastic at that. I mean, that's why manager Brent Cummings and pitching coach Dustin Cheney wanted to bring him in.
Another 1-2 wins the battle. Strike 3 on a beautiful breaking ball off the outside. Fabian Gomez goes down by way of the K. Now goes to 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts against the Crawdads this season. So the Crawdads have had his number.
That they have. He's kind of a guy who looks a little bit more for power, and these Crawdad pitchers will really take advantage of guys swinging for the fences like we see there.
Now the second baseman, Ethan Reeder, right-hander, as Scott works quickly to get me over slider to start the at-bat.
Beautifully located pitch from Dylan Scott there. Just goes low with the off-speed pitch. He knows it's going to be tough to hit. Reeder wasn't likely to swing and gets a free strike.
1 strike delivery on the outside corner, strike 2. Scott 1 pitch away from once again striking out back-to-back hitters to end an inning and looking for his first 1-2-3 after a 4-batter face first inning. Here's the 0-2. Scott way ahead. Change up outside, ball 1.
No stranger to 1-2 counts. Dylan Scott obviously retired Gomez with a 1-2 pitch last time. And I think he might go an inside fastball, try to get a bite.
Instead, it's off the outside corner, called strike 3. And for Dylan Scott in the second inning, it is a 1-2-3. Dylan Scott gives him the claw and snatches him up. Merchants down in order. Crawdads coming up, bottom second, trying to extend the lead. So Dylan Scott, the Crawdad starter, spins another 0 in the top of the second as now Barrett Ronson walks up to Brass Monkey.
There we go, changing it up a little bit. I like it.
The Beastie Boys welcoming Barrett Ronson for his first at-bat to face the righty Griffin Sutton, who again bounces one way in front of home plate for ball 1. Crawdad scored 1 in the first. Peyton Rolls got on via an error on the third baseman Rodriguez and stole 2 bases, but the second base he stole was third, and an errant throw allowed him to score very easily as Bronson swings through the next one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, chased after a breaking ball.
Yeah, I mean, Rolls just such a threat on the path. You force errors defensively, trying to make up for it, and they capitalized.
Slider off the outside for a ball. You talked about putting the ball in play in the CCL, really making things, making things exciting, making the defense make a play. But even a guy with speed can provide the same kind of pressure, right? I mean, you think about a catcher, has him in the back of his mind. A check swing, he did go around, so strike two. But the catcher always has to have him in the back of his mind. Same with the pitcher, and then same with whoever's going to be covering the bag because they're thinking about making a quick tag down at base level. So it's really impacts all sides of the defense. 2-2 to Ronson. He'll chop one slowly to second. In comes Reeder. He'll make a play and a sidearm throw for out number one. But, I mean, Rolls just embodies all of those things. He puts the ball in play and then burns around the bases.
Exactly. He's just so fantastic at the top of the Crawdad order. But how about Griffin Sutton? I mean, went 4 straight sliders to Barrett Ronson, worked the count 2-2, and then gives him a fastball to high chopper to second. It's a really good first at-bat in the bottom of the second as a pitcher.
So now it's the lefty, Shane Aldridge, the lone lefty left out of the 3 in a row. As he takes strike one, the 3, 4, 5 batters all lefties, then Ronson the righty. The 6th batter, Shane Aldridge, in at 7th. Behind strike one, but man, yes, Sutton's working that slider against the righties very well. As he bounces this one here to Aldridge.
Lefties, he's had to change up his game plan quite a bit. I mean, he obviously didn't, or he worked the count full against Perez and then missed low. He tended to go towards that lower part of the zone, then got bulled a fly out, obviously, on a 1-1 pitch.
Now Aldridge shoots one the other way, high in the air. Sandner racing towards the line on the run. He'll make the catch and left. So quickly for the Crawdads, 2 up and 2 down. Crawdads really worked a lot of pitches, 25 to be exact, out of Sutton in the first inning. And that's been a bit of a deviance from what they've done recently. A lot of early swings for the Crawdads. That, however, not a lot of strikeouts. They've been putting the ball in play, but last inning was really good to see them kind of take a few pitches, right? Let them throw the junk off the outside. Don't bite, then get your pitch and put it in play still.
Absolutely. That's the recipe for success in hitting in the California Collegiate League. And the Crawdads figuring that out a little more.
Sutton now deals to Brandon Clisby, who takes a ball. Clisby, 294 hitter, trying to get it up over 300. Catching today for Riley Winchell, who started yesterday and was excellent in the field, as well as that base hit to his own right. And Clisby takes ball 2, way ahead, 2-0.
A really good eye there. That was a well-placed pitch from Sutton on that low outside corner. I thought it could have been called a strike, but Clisby gets a bit of a gift.
So 1-1 goes after one and fouls it off to the right side and out towards the batting cages here at Monte Vista High School. A very incredible facility. Just an amazing campus overall, too.
Oh, absolutely. This is a fantastic place for baseball. Really good facilities for it here in Danville, and the Crawdads certainly take advantage.
Next pitch, half swing on a slider. Check down to first. He did go. So 2-1 goes to 2-2. Again, Crawdads doing a good job so far of laying off, especially the righties, the slider falling off the table, but that time Clisby got a little bit too excited. Now he's even at 2-2. Outside slider just off the plate. And that's, outside fastball just off the plate. I was going to say it's a great pitch to throw after the outside slider.
And I mean, it looked a little bit like it had some cut action there on it, kind of a mix between the fastball and the slider. It was a good pitch from Sutton, that's for sure.
Payoff pitch. Hammered into the left center field gap. Racing over is Sandner. He's not going to get there. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Clisby can walk into second with a 2-out double. That ball was tattooed.
That it was. How about the gap power for Brandon Clisby? A little bit of celebration at the second base bag. Love to see that. With his family in attendance here.
So now it sets it up for TJ Woodson, who exactly like we mentioned, head coach Brent Cummings really likes having him in this 9 spot because he's kind of a second leadoff type of guy, but also when you get a guy like Clisby who can whack an extra base hit with 2 down, you put the bat in the hands of TJ Woodson, he gives you a chance to drive in that run from second with 2 down.
That he does. 5 ribbies already this season.
He watches a breaking ball right over the plate for strike 1 as Peyton Rolls awaits on deck, hoping that he'll get another shot.
That's a pitch right there where, obviously I like the Crawdads taking first pitch, but man, that kind of sat over the heart of the zone. I'm surprised Woodson didn't take a swing.
Well, he's going to have to now. Take strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes, and that's why you kind of go with that off-speed first pitch. You may not expect it as a hitter. It's all about the mind game. As a pitcher thinking, again, I could get over a breaking ball here because he's thinking fastball. Now slider fastball has Sutton up 0-2. Just outside. Again, that outer edge has been it's been consistent, but it's certainly established today.
That it has been. Just a touch outside of home plate, but honestly, I don't mind that a whole lot. It's consistent.
1-2, breaking ball hung on him, but Woodson only able to foul it away and stay alive.
It's another pitch where I think his eyes lit up. He really liked what he saw, just jumped out a little bit, and the swing got under it as well.
Yeah. Flew out just a little bit too much. But if he gets that one again, look out. He's gotten it twice, swung it once. 1-2 with Clisby off a second. Another breaker, and this one turned on but foul.
Yeah, that one was just kind of a little bit of more of a front door breaking ball that just broke off the hand, but not enough for Woodson to put it in play in fair territory. It's another really good pitch from Sutton.
Woodson trying to extend the 1-0 lead. He gets a breaking ball. He takes it off the outside. Ball 2. Evens things up. Crawdads 2 down here with a 1-0 lead. Woodson at the plate, the righty. Clisby, the catcher, on second. This one hammered towards left center field. This one's got a chance. Going back on it, the left fielder, it punches off the wall. And Clisby will score easily. Woodson has a nose for third. He'll stop, though, after a long turn at second. T.J. Woodson almost put that one out of here. But instead, it's a booming RBI double to double the Crawdads' lead.
Wow, what a hammer shot right off the bat. You said it perfectly, Harry. I think if the wind isn't in from center field today at Monte Vista, that one's gone. I mean, wow, just smoked from T.J. Woodson. That's got to be the hardest hit ball he's had as a Crawdad so far. I mean, wow.
We were seeing him track that pitch very well all at bat. Middle in again. He made Sutton pay, so now it flips over to the top, and Crawdads now in danger of putting up a big inning. Another hanger. This one deposited to left field. Woodson will get the wave around third. He'll come in to score as the throw is into second. Back-to-back-to-back hits as the Crawdads up 3-0 as Peyton Rolls delivers once again.
Man, and how about Peyton Rolls' first pitch? He knew he was going to get a slider and just attacked it, served it into the pull side on a line. That's what he's so fantastic at. But, man, I really love this approach right now for Walnut Creek. Jumping out to an early 3-0 lead against Alameda, that's part of one of our keys of the game, is make a statement early and play dominant. It's exactly what they're doing right now.
It's exactly what we said they needed to do. 1 run already in the first, 2 runs here in the second so far. With now Elijah Ramos, the 2-hitter today. Peyton Rolls the speed threat on first. They're bluffs ago, actually. And Ramos pops up the first pitch to second. Ethan Reeder is over to his left and will make the catch. So the inning ends after the Crawdads mount a quick 2-out rally all of a sudden. Back-to-back doubles and a single bring home 2. And the Crawdads early in command, 3-0 after the second. 2-0, or 3-0 rather. Crawdads lead after 2. 2 runs brought home by the Crawdads in the second and 1 run in the first. Already matches the runs they scored yesterday, but thanks to the beautiful pitching staff. Three
man.
was enough to do it. As you take a look at the players of the game yesterday, and well, it was every single pitcher that came in. Started with Alessandro Martinez, started it off. Miles Tencher, Miles Brand, Noah Zirkle, Jacob Coburn, and Carlos Hernandez, all winning player of the game, as the first pitch to the 8-hitter Gonsalves is taken for a ball. But Charlie, again, 17 strikeouts, matching the program mark for a single game. It was just dominance.
That it was. So many pitches in the zone for Walnut Creek, just one walk. They were dominating on the hill.
1-0 is up and in, and you could call those pitchers 2009 Randy Orton the way they were legend killers.
Well said. Very well said, Harry. I don't think I could put it better myself.
The legends had no chance. 2-0 here, swung through a big rip on a fastball. Gonsalves still ahead, 2-1.
Scott's doing a good job there with that recovery. Tommy Curran, the left-hander for Alameda, throwing some pitches, and probably going to come in next inning with 3 straight lefties due up.
Fastball up and away, 3-1. Yeah, exactly. The lefty up, 3-4-5 for the Crawdads, due up, all lefties, and Bull, Perez, and Moss. And you kind of, before the game, a slight bit worried about the potential to make that move.
Yeah, especially because these lefties for Alameda tend to be really good.
So that one inside. Gonsalves takes ball 4. The catcher gets on for the 9-hitter, Nico Rodriguez. But yeah, it seems like your idea is coming exactly true, because it just has worked out perfectly. Where Elijah Ramos, the 2-hitter, the last out. 3 straight lefties due up. But before that, Dylan Scott got to continue working hard and working well. So Nico Rodriguez, the third of 3 lefties in this lineup, faces a lefty Scott. He squares around and pulls back, but takes a strike.
And we talk about guys in the 9-hole that are kind of second leadoff guys. Nico Rodriguez is the definition of that for Alameda. 7 games, 333 hitter, 8 hits. I mean, he's just been a spark plug from Wichita State down there in that 9-hole.
It's also got a fair bit of pop as well. Slugging percentage over 500, 542, has a homer on the season. A couple doubles as well. Driven in 3 runs. But here, just squaring around to bunt. Hits it back towards the mound. It will be Scott to field and go to first, so the sac bunt is successful. Gets Gonsalves over to second. But a nice operation by the Crawdads as well to get the first out.
Yeah, Scott didn't rush it. We've seen, on some of those bunts from Alameda, especially the last time these two teams met, Crawdad pitching rushed a little bit trying to get to the ball. The throw got rushed, but Scott kept his composure, took his time, and delivered an accurate strike to Ronson just in time.
Those PFPs can get a bit dicey sometimes. So now the lineup flips over once again. Isaiah Landry, who grounded out to Elijah Ramos his first time at third, stands back in, takes strike 1, and it was a very solid play over there by Ramos. Kind of right off the bat reacted to lay out to his left. Wasn't hit the hardest ever, but was placed perfectly to where Ramos, again, just had to have that instant instinct to dive. Scott will bluff back to second. Didn't look like he had much interest in picking Gonsalves off.
That's just about control. I mean, you're the pitcher. You own the entire mound, the entire infield, and Scott embodies that.
Back foot slider, a little too far inside, goes to 1-1. Really has been, commanding every part of the game, the strike zone and then also the pace, like you mentioned. Lefty versus righty, 1-1 from the stretch. Scott comes in, and this one's pulled hard foul on a line, so it goes to 1-2. Landry was way ahead of something off speed. Might have been a changeup, might have been a slider. Kind of looked more like the changeup floating in there.
I think it was just a kind of a slider from Scott that didn't really bite towards the hands of the right-hander Landry. Left it out over the heart of the plate. That's kind of a mistake pitch, frankly. And Landry almost capitalized. He was just a little too early. Knocked it down that left field line, excuse me. Now I think Scott might want to go fastball here.
Couple checks on the runner at second, Gonsalves. In comes Scott. Instead, it's a breaking ball on the back door, called strike 3. 5th strikeout of the day for Dylan Scott, and the second that has frozen a Merchant batter. Back-to-back strikeouts have been looking.
Wow, I mean, that's just fantastic pitch from Dylan Scott, similar to what we saw from Alessandro Martinez yesterday. Just threw, almost 3 innings, 5 strikeouts, limited offensive production for the opponent team. Crawdad pitching is red hot.
So Braden Smith, comes in. He's the lone merchant hit so far. First pitch he jumped on last time. First pitch this time stops 10 feet of home and bounces off of Brandon Clisby. So a wild pitch allows Gonzalez, Clisby's opposing catcher, his counterpart, to go over to third.
And just a tough pitch. Another slider this time from Scott, yanked toward the dirt, left the hand a little too late. And not a whole lot Clisby can do back there. Very athletic catcher who moves really well, but that's a really tough bounce. And Gonzalez had no problem going to third.
So still with 2 outs, a runner on third, not much different than a runner on second, though now Scott can't throw a 50-foot changeup again. But instead it's a slider, hit slowly out towards second, racing and rolls. On a hop, throw to first is scooped up by Barrett Ronson, and the runner is stranded once again in scoring position. It's now 2 runners left on second or third for Alameda. No score for the Merchants, 3 still for the Crawdads as they attempt to build their lead in the bottom of the third. 3 lefties due up against a freshly inserted lefty, Tommy Curran, but we received word that one of our fellow interns, Alex Swift, received an official warning from the home plate umpire for stopping Elijah Ramos's music too late last inning.
Yeah, it was kind of strange.
That's the first I've ever experienced of that.
Yeah, first music / PA system warning in the 2026 season.
Tommy Curran's first pitch of the day is swung through by Bryden Bull, but, as a joke, as a bit, Charlie, you and I like to tee people up, give them a technical foul, right? And obviously when we do it, it doesn't really mean anything. But when the home plate umpire effectively does the same thing, you kind of got to listen. As this one on 2 hops to second, Ethan Reeder handles the chance and retires Bryden Bull. He's now 0 for 2. But, man, that's official.
It is official. So the Crawdad dugout needs to be a little more careful. Don't want to upset the umpire anymore with any extracurriculars there.
You can bet that Swifty's going to be on his marks now.
Yeah.
Maybe even cutting off a little early.
Like right now.
There you go. So now the second of 3 lefties due up, facing the lefty Curran. Dylan Pettis takes a curveball for ball 1. Never was in the zone, stayed above the whole way. Tommy Curran from Pleasant Hill, California, currently undecided on his next step. As he fires a fastball in there for a strike. Nice pitch. Kind of comes a little more over the top than the average, which is difficult to deal with, again, when you're facing the same handedness as a lefty hitter. So 1-1, another curveball, once again above the zone, 2-1. And if you miss that curveball up, obviously you want to miss it out of the zone, because if it drops in, that's going to be perhaps going a long way. If contact is made by an opposing hitter. But this one is a fastball taken right back up the middle for a knock. Dylan Perez, a 1-out base hit. He's on for the second time and is 1 for 1 after walking his first time.
And Perez, that's his first hit in 3 games, Harry. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been in a kind of an 0 for 10 slump. Nice bust out there. Really patient at bat in the first, then waits for a good pitch from Curran and gets it. I very much like the way Perez is looking today.
So Perez, the hit off of Tommy Curran, who started his career at Washington in 2025. UW. The Big Ten only pitched 1 game there through 2/3 of an inning and gave up 3 runs. There goes the runner Perez. Throw down to second is well late and into center, but the shortstop Loxa kept the tag on Perez as if he had the ball, so he kept him home. Didn't trickle quite far enough into center, I wouldn't think, for him to advance anyways.
No, definitely not. But good send from manager Brent Cummings for Walnut Creek, and Perez using the wheels to his advantage. RBI chance now for Moss. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Good fundamental baseball.
Now a run scoring opportunity with just 1 out in the inning. Moss takes the ball in the dirt, kicks away from the catcher Gonzalez. Good job to keep it in front of him, though. And that goes to 2-0, I believe. First pitch was a ball on the steal.
Correct. 2-0 count now to Moss. And Curran has looked really good at times for Alameda, but right now, looks like his command really isn't where it has been previously this season.
Not living in the zone yet, as there goes the runner Perez. He had a great break, a curveball taken for a strike, no throw down. So almost like they handed him third base, and with 1 out, that's a big base in this game. It's a big 90 feet.
Absolutely. Now Moss just has to lift one in the air, or even a hard ground ball to the middle infield has a chance to plate Perez.
Infield is staying back as another high breaking ball is up top. Again, that high breaking ball, you're playing with a bit of fire. Leaving it up there, I know it's probably not on purpose, but if Curran brings it down just a bit more to kind of belt level, that's gonna cause danger.
Yeah, right in Moss's wheelhouse.
Oh, but that one nasty. Moss gave up on it, and it's called for strike 2. So the 2 strikes Moss has taken on that curveball, kind of biting off the front door. So now 3-2, gonna have to fight off anything close. In it comes from Curran. He took a mighty rip at the curve. He's seen it enough times, was ready to try and smack that one onto the softball field beyond right field.
Yeah, maybe Tommy Curran just really nice with the 12-6 action on that curveball. The last pitch to Moss, it looked to Sutter like it was coming right at his head, and all of a sudden drops into that inner third. I mean, that's just filth.
Again, right over the top with the lefty release. That's what you'll get. Now it's a fastball lifted into shallow center field. In comes Landry, tagging at third Perez. On the move, Landry makes the catch. Perez will score as the throw comes in late. He comes in standing up, so Moss, a sac fly, does the job, again, with just 1 out, and that's all you got to do.
Absolutely, just had to put the ball in play, and it's just deep enough in the outfield. But give credit to Isaiah Landry. That was a laser beam throw. 1 hopped to the catcher Gonzalez, just, a hair late.
It made it a little closer than I expected originally. But nonetheless, Crawdads add 1 to the lead. They're extending it out now. It's 4-0. Barrett Ronson up. Takes ball 1, first righty that Tommy Curran has to face. Mentioned that Curran began his career at Washington and went to Los Medanos in 2026, though again is undecided where he wants to go next. Had a 6.26 ERA as Ronson skies one back behind first. Gomez is out from first, but it's Reeder over towards the line. The second baseman going to race over and make the catch. He had the better angle, had the call, and he'll put it away. So inning ends after the Crawdads scratch 1 run across using the speed once again. A hit by Perez, 2 stolen bags, got into third, and the sac fly by Sutter Moss gets him in. After 3, Crawdads in control so far, 4-0. Dylan Scott back out for his 4th inning, an early candidate for Player of the Game, which today's Player of the Game brought to you by Worth Group Restaurants, a local collection of East Bay restaurants owned and operated by Rodney Worth. And this includes the Peasant and the Pear in Danville, the Bourbon Pear in Livermore, and the Golden Pear in Walnut Creek. Worth Group Restaurants, an official partner of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. I've always wondered what the tie-in is with the pear.
I mean, it's just something that apparently Rodney Worth likes.
Let's see if Google has any answer.
Trey Johnson steps in the left-handed batter's box.
Lefty versus lefty. Slider off the outside, taken for ball 1. Johnson, one of the 5 strikeout victims of Scott so far. He was the first. In fact, he inspired many of his teammates to follow him, to get punched out. But now he's ahead 2-0.
Yeah, just a couple of misses off speed from Scott. And Johnson, more of a disciplined guy. Obviously, the swinging strikeout on a ball that was in the zone. His 9th K in 9 games.
Fastball just off the inside, ball 3-0. So Scott, I'm mixing up the Dylans here. Dylan Scott on the mound, Dylan Perez in left field. But Scott has been getting ahead of hitters religiously, but now behind 3-0. And 4-0, ball 4. So Johnson, a 4-pitch walk. First time we've seen that. Had a 5-pitch walk against Gonsalves last inning. So command, I guess, faltering a slight bit.
Just in the first batter, which, kind of surprising lefty-lefty advantage for Scott. Nonetheless, I thought that might have been a get-me-over fastball at the top of the zone. Home plate umpire obviously disagrees. He's got a better look at it than I do, so who am I to argue with it? I think it was the right call, but I thought it had a chance at least of being a strike. Nonetheless, Scott with some work to do with a runner on.
Now a leadoff runner for the 2nd straight inning for the Merchants as strike 1 is fired to Kyle Sandner, who went to 0 for 8 against the Crawdads his first at-bat this season. But his first strikeout in those 8 outs. This one's hit high to center. Bold chases it back to his left. Just a few steps shy of the track will put it away, so he had a good beat on it. There's out number 1.
Yeah, a little bit more loud contact there that Scott allowed, but that one didn't have a chance at going out nonetheless, just too far under it. Sandner was. So that's something you'll take as a pitcher, softer contact. It, off the bat sounded a little more hard hit, but turned out that it wasn't.
So Kyle Laxa now stands in. 0 for 1 today. Soft line out to Peyton, rolls at second. He'll take a ball. So I'm finding that the pair tie-in to Rodney Worth is that it just frequently appears in his dishes, salads, and drinks.
Oh, look at that.
Next pitch up high, so 2 balls, no strikes. Now 6 balls to just 2 strikes thrown in the inning for Dylan Scott, who's working very efficiently otherwise, just 38 pitches through 3 innings before this inning began. The runner back at first and fires a fastball outside. So now 3-0. If he loses the batter here on 4 pitches again, might be time to just have a quick chat on the mound. Maybe Clisby will go out, settle him down a bit.
That'd be smart. And looks like Trey Galino, the right-hander for Walnut Creek, about to start throwing warm-up pitches. Timely.
Yeah, just getting out there. So 3-0. Fastball gets over. "11 pitches last inning for Scott, 15 in the second and 12 in the first. This one fouled back out of the glove of Clisby, but with just 1 strike, wouldn't have mattered anyways. So all 3 of those pitch totals, very, very effective innings for sure. This one already up towards 11 pitches. Here comes the 12th. It's fouled right back. So Laxa staying alive after a quick at-bat his first time up.
Yeah, and doing a really nice job at it. Just a guy who's got a really fantastic contact tool, is hard to strike out. Likely going to have to be put away on soft contact.
Trey Johnson, very short lead at first. He'll stay home. 3-1's ball 4, and he'll take an easy walk to first with Johnson advancing up to second. So that, in fact, will warrant a quick mound visit. Clisby goes out to talk with Dylan Scott, who Otherwise, has been in complete control, though, now. 3 walks in the last 7 batters faced.
Yeah, Scott definitely, his mechanics, something, or maybe it's just the mentality, I don't know, something not quite right, so he and Clisby going to work, having a chat about it. But I mean, Dylan Scott, 3 1/3, he's through in this appearance. His season high 4 innings, he went as his conference debut, pardon me, his true debut against the Alameda Merchants 2 Saturdays ago.
Now, Fabian Gomez takes a mighty hack at the first one he sees and whiffs through it. Fastball got by him. Fabian was the 3rd strikeout victim. 3rd to strikeout swinging, and that ended the trend of swinging strikeouts. Back-to-back batters then struck out looking for the Merchants as he swings through strike 2. This time a chase on the outside.
I think Scott just knows that he can get Gomez to bite on that slider in the outer third. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why not one more?
I'd be surprised to see anything else. 2 runners on, 4-0 Crawdad lead with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Said he comes inside and it's fouled off, so Gomez stays alive. Gomez trying to break the strikeout streak against the Crawdads this year again. 0 for 5 he is with 5 strikeouts. Going back to the first game that these two played this year. Well, he won't end it as he swings through again. So 6 strikeouts on the day for Dylan Scott. 4 of them swinging, 2 of them looking, and 2 of them against Fabian Gomez. Gomez, the first repeat offender.
How about Dylan Scott? 3 2/3, 6 K. Ties the single pitcher, single game season high for Walnut Creek. Kalani Hidegi had 6 through 2 2/3 in his first start. So if Scott gets 1 more, then he'll have the single game record this season.
Line towards second. He will have to wait till the 4th as Rolls puts that one away. 4 really strong innings of shutout ball with just 1 hit and 6 strikeouts. We'll see if Dylan Scott gets 1 more or if we have Trey Galino coming in. But for the Crawdads, 7, 8, and 9 due up with a commanding 4-0 lead. The back third of the Crawdads lineup. Shane Aldridge, Brandon Clisby, and TJ Woodson do up, but if you remember, they're the ones that got the scoring started back in the 2nd inning. There were 2 outs when Brandon Clisby came to the plate and whacked a double, followed by TJ Woodson, who traded places with him. Back-to-back doubles, got the Crawdads on the board, then a single by Peyton Rolls back at the top. Scored Woodson from second with 2 down, all with 2 down. Now they get to do it with a fresh slate. Shane Aldridge watches a big curveball from Tommy Curran miss the zone for ball 1.
I thought that curveball sat rather well top of the zone, but Aldridge stays patient, gets rewarded with the ball.
Fastball then taken right back up the middle, and it'll sneak through past Reeder and Laxa. Aldridge, a leadoff knock, joins the hit party That is the 5th now for the Crawdads.
Yeah, and Shane Aldridge, a guy who's getting back onto the offensive party, was 1 for 1 yesterday as he replaced Ryan Ellis defensively, then got a single up the middle, now gets another one here. Some timely hitting for the Crawdad right fielder, refining his form. He looked really good early in the season.
Hey, he was in the leadoff spot for a decent part of the beginning of the season. Now kind of trying to find his way back in that bottom third, but still a very, very strong part of the lineup as he's now picked off. Throw from first to second, however, is just barely in time. Ethan Reeder applies the tag as Fabian Gomez from first threw an absolute seed to him. So Aldridge gets picked off immediately after getting on base. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, tough break for Aldridge there. I thought he had a chance of being safe there. If we had a video review system, it might have been closer than many folks would expect.
It was real close. He dove in there. Big puff of dust as Clisby's first offering is taken for a ball. But it's kind of like the scene in Chicken Little where all the dust kicks up at home plate. They have to clear all the dust and see if the tag was applied. It's a curveball to the righty. Clisby taken for a strike. But I think the dust maybe did not help Shane Aldridge because I thought he could have snuck in there.
Absolutely. He had the speed to do so.
And he might have. 1-1 from Currens, fouled back. Clisby was out in front, a little bit of an outside changeup. So now has to battle behind 1-2 with now nobody on, but still a 4-run cushion for the Crawdads. One, two. Ooh, inside corner called strike 3. Clisby did not love it. Was a little tight on him, but regardless, he's back to the dugout. First strikeout of the day for Tommy Curran.
Can't say I blame Clisby there. I think that was a little too far inside.
I tend to agree there.
Watch it on the replay here. No. I think
it looked better.
It's close. It's close. Anyway.
Well, he's down looking. Matt Gonsalves, the catcher, maybe didn't receive it super well, but it did look like it was a strike, as that one is there too. TJ Woodson falls behind. Final line on the starter, Griffin Sutton, went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. Just 2 of them were earned with a walk and 2 strikeouts on 43 pitches. So he had 2 strikeouts, and again, Curran just got his first as a breaking ball works him ahead now of Woodson 0-2, but remember, Woodson was down 0-2 his first time up before working it to 2-2 and cracking a double to the left center gap.
Yeah, certainly not a guy you want to have in a 2-strike count. Woodson just battles.
And he stays in on this one, hits it out towards left center again. Landry over to his right in the gap will make the catch from center. A nice play on the move, very quick out there. So Woodson, good contact, but it's a 1-2-3 inning following the leadoff single since Aldridge got picked off. So Dads still lead it by 4 as we go to the 5th. The California Collegiate League's biggest event of the summer is coming to Reno, Nevada on Saturday, July 4th. The 2026 CCL All-Star Game will bring together the league's top players and future professional prospects at Greater Nevada Field, home of the Reno Aces. Following the game, fans will enjoy a spectacular fireworks show as part of the America 250 celebration. To purchase tickets and learn more, visit www.calsummerball.com as Dylan Scott into the 4th inning, as he was his last time out, went 4 innings. No, into the 5th inning, excuse me. So into the 5th for the first time. He completed 4 innings for the second time. He has 8, 9, and 1. Matt Gonsalves leads things off and fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike to the backstop.
Worked a nice 5-pitch walk against Scott in the third. Gonsalves has been no easy out for Crawdad pitching this year.
1-1 hit hard the other way, but well out of play. Goes to 1 and 2. Gonsalves, a rising junior at Jessup. From San Ramon, California.
Played a few games for the Crawdads last summer at the beginning of the year.
He waits and pulls one hard to left. Base hit. That one was ripped and takes a tough hop on Perez, but he keeps it in front of him out there. So a leadoff single for Gonsalves gets on to lead off the inning, just as he did in the third, this time with a hit, last time with a walk. That ball was smoked, man.
Yeah, he sat and waited on the slider from Dylan Scott, got it, and pulled it to his strong side. Got the job done.
So now Nico Rodriguez is to face the lefty Perez, or Scott, excuse me. Perez, I was thinking about left. Again, both Dylans. But Perez was on my mind because I was going to talk about the outfield out there. If the ball gets down, it does become an adventure. It's a bit uneven out there and can hop up on you in an instant. Dylan Scott's first offering to Rodriguez is chopped towards second, rolls, goes to second for 1. That's the only chance that they'll have, but a nice quick turn by Rolls. I thought he was only going to get an out at first, but instead the fielder's choice goes 4-6.
Yeah, does a nice job getting the leading runner. Smart heads-up baseball from Peyton Rolls.
Nice play out there. So the leadoff runner, Gonsalves, wiped off of the bases. And that might have been Dylan Scott's final pitch as head coach Brent Cummings comes out. Trey Galino still warming up in the bullpen. He'll get the point. And Dylan Scott completes the longest outing of a Crawdad starter so far this year. He topped himself. Was 4 innings last time, goes 4 1/3. Very solid innings of work. Just gave up 2 hits, had 6 strikeouts, and shut out this Alameda crew as things stand. So it's Galino coming in with a runner on first and 1 out. The righty Trey Galino relieves Dylan Scott after, again, 4 1/3 of really, really solid work. 4 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs as of yet. Is responsible for Nico Rodriguez on first. So if he were to come around, that run would be put on Scott's line. But just 3 walks to 6 strikeouts, matching a Crawdad season high for a single pitcher. Did so on 59 pitches through 37 strikes. But now it's Trey Galino who takes over. Charlie, who's been off since June 11th, so exactly a week ago, pitched against the Legends and in 1 2/3 did really solid.
Yeah, he did. 2 strikeouts, two strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 hit. Allowed Galino, a guy, not too many pitches. Throws a fastball and a curveball for the most part. Occasionally will mix in another off-speed pitch, but the curveball really has some nice 12-6 action, good horizontal break as well, and the fastball sits around 90 miles an hour. He's certainly a tough guy to hit over at Cal.
So looking to keep the bullpen, the good bullpen vibes rolling from yesterday. Again, 17 total strikeouts. They could be well on the way to that again. 6 by the starter, Dylan Scott. The lefty really set the precedent for the rest of the guys behind him. So Galino going to be the first one, as this was probably the move. They were waiting for the top of the order to come back around. Didn't want Scott to face him the third time. So now Isaiah Landry, the leadoff guy, hits with Nico Rodriguez on first and 1 out in a 4-run hole. Merchants down 4-0. So with the hot pink gloves, he fouls one back towards the stands here, but it ends up back in play. Though on the move, Ronson and Clisby come up empty.
Yeah, tough foul ball for either of them to get to. It hung really high in the air for a long time, and it was trailing right up to that fence. Looked like it was going to land in the seats, but the wind kind of blew it back into play.
The backspin always kind of hard to read. So you have to remember it's going to come back. It has that Magnus effect where it works against the the air, pushes itself back into play off this with the seams. Galeno checks on the runner. Rodriguez at first. Rodriguez, the 9-hitter, who is on first. 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season. Again, not a team that runs all that often. Only 13 attempts, 8 which were successful. He'll stay home, but this one's cracked out to left. Going back, Perez is over there and will make the catch. He bobbled it a bit, but scooped it back up before touching the ground. So there's out number 2, another hard hit out for these Merchants. And Landry had the right exit velocity, just not quite the right launch angle. If he had got that one maybe 3 or 5 degrees higher, probably would be taking the round tripper, but instead it's just out number 2.
Potentially so. Either way, the wind wouldn't have done him too many favors. Kind of pointless to speculate now, but Galeno looking good right now. Just 3 pitches for the out.
So now the righty Braden Smith, 1 for 2 today, and takes strike 1 to start the at-bat. Has a single and grounded out to Peyton Rolls at second to end the 3rd. And he's got half his team's hits.
Yeah, he's been really good, Smith has, but how about the Crawdad pitching staff? Scott, 2 hits allowed. Galeno trying to keep it the same and limit the base runners.
Rodriguez short off of first, and a slider swung through for strike 2.
Wow. That played so well off of the fastball. Galeno goes outer third, lower corner, just straight heat at 90-plus miles an hour. Then the curveball tumbles the same way out of the hand and completely drops off the table to the left-handed batter's box. Now he's got him prime position for a K.
Doesn't have to come in with a strike. Up 0-2 on Braden Smith, the 2-hitter. Breaking ball rolled to third. Ramos with the forehand. A hard throw to first, and it long hops over to Ronson, who's been perfect over there. And he scoops the long hop for out number 3. 4.5 gone. We're halfway through, which means Charlie Limoncelli is going to take you the rest of the way here on the Crawdads streaming network. Go nowhere. We want you for the rest of this game.
Bottom of the 5th, the Crawdads lead 4-0 over the Alameda Merchants. Top of the order, due up Rolls, Ramos, and Bull. Tommy Curran still on the hill for Alameda. Through 2 innings of work, he's allowed 2 hits. 1 run has come across during his time. But he's handled the left-handers really well for Walnut Creek thus far. Rolls up there has reached twice, 1 on a single, 1 on an error. Curran turns, kicks, and fires. Rolls hits one high in the air the other way, towards the right field line,
Wow.
and Smith comes over and makes the grab in foul territory to put Rolls away on one pitch.
That's a long run, and it's a bit treacherous over there. I'll tell you, I was shagging BP out in right field. Pretty much exactly where Smith was, and it's off the righty's bats. It tails away towards foul grounds. It's a really tough play to make. Again, the outfield a little bit uneven. I've kind of now experienced it first person, but I made a play that looked just like that.
Ramos steps in. Curran, his first offering, fastball outside.
Tell you though, Smith ran quite a bit faster and covered a lot more ground than I did, but
Well, what are you going to do?
that's why he's in right field right now, and I'm over here.
The 1-0 offering from Curran, a breaking ball that misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Ramos. Ramos 0 for 2, a strikeout looking, and a pop-up to second base. Crawdad 2-hole hitter. Takes a fastball down the pipe. 2-1 to the rising redshirt junior, formerly of Cal State East Bay. He's in the portal right now, but had a fantastic season with the Pioneers at the D2 level this spring. Curran, 2-1. Chopper too short. Laxa collects the throw across the diamond, high but in time. And Gomez keeps his back foot on the bag.
Yeah, it's one of those plays that maybe looks a little easier than it is. Charging in, having to make a throw on the run with the speedy Elijah Ramos burning down the line. But Laxa made it just about as good as you can. The throw was a tad bit high, but plenty low enough for the big Fabian Gomez over there. Gomez, 6'3" frame. That'll work. That's a big target.
That it will. 2 outs, no one on in the bottom of the 5th. Bryden Bull at the dish now for Walnut Creek. Curran's first offering. Bull takes high. 1 ball, no strikes. Rising redshirt freshman at Ole Miss. Bull was 1 for 4 yesterday with a double. Now the 1-0. Curran misses with the curveball inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Bryden Bull. 6'5", 200-pound left-hander. 2 homers on the season already. The 2-0. Fastball chopped foul first base side.
As of late, though, it's been a lot of that kind of pounding it into the dirt. He's working on getting that exit angle right again. Haven't seen as many line drive. We saw a line drive double yesterday after a couple ground outs, and that's the swing he's looking for, but he's been topping the ball just a little bit.
Love to get under it some more. The 2-1. Bull cracks one weakly down the first base line. Gomez picks it up. Did he get it to the bag in time?
They said,
I don't know.
They said foul ball, it hit off his foot, and it kind of... So in the box, it hit off of himself, so he's going to get another chance at this one. I mean, Bull, he'll take it, but he did beat it out to first with all of that considered.
Yeah, he's got some fantastic speed. Plays outfield, first base, starting in center today, obviously. Played 2 straight games there after playing first base against the San Francisco Seagulls to kick off week 3 of CCL play on Tuesday. 2-2 count. Curran with 2 outs looking for the put away. Curveball high and inside. Full count now to Bull. Reigning CCL hitter of the week. 8 for 16, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 2 walks, 9 ribbies last week. The payoff from Curran. Fastball fouled off the end of Bull's bat. Stays alive. Right-hander warming up for Alameda in the bullpen, Jack Karst. Curran, the payoff again. Bull fouls it away. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tommy Curran doing a good job attacking.
He is, but that there from Bull looked like the swing that he wants. It looked like he was going to elevate on that one, just got a little bit under it, but was well on time with an inside fastball and turned on it.
Curran, the 3-2 again. Bull takes ball 4 inside. A patient at bat for the big left-hander. 2-out base runner for Dylan Perez now in Walnut Creek. No stranger to 2-out rallies in this game already. They got 2 back in the 2nd inning after Clisby had a double, then Woodson doubled, and Peyton Rolls an RBI single as well to bring in Woodson.
Yeah, it's been the name of the game of the offense. Only crooked number they've put up. Back in the 2nd, they had 3 straight innings with runs, but trying to get back on that train, gonna have to do it with 2 outs.
Curran out of the stretch. Perez takes a breaking ball, lower third, called a strike. Nothing in one to the left fielder today. He's 1 for 1. Walked in the first, had a single in the third, stole 2 bags, and scored after Sutter Moss drove him in on the sac fly to center. The 0-1. Perez fouls it off, a fastball high.
Those are the ones that look a lot better than they are in the batter's box. You see, he kind of tomahawked at it, swung high to low, but this fastball's at the eyes. Something about him just makes him look so good. I don't know what it is, but it's never a high percentage pitch as a hitter.
Curran again looking for a put away. His 0-2. Curveball misses the top of the zone.
And part of me wonders how different Curran's outing would look if his curveball were riding below or at the bottom of the zone instead of above and at the top, because he's really just been kind of losing it up there.
The 1-2. Curveball in the dirt. So you go too far north, too far south, and the count 2-2 to Perez with a runner on and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, there's one example of too low, right? I mean, that's kind of where you want it with 2 strikes. Try and get the chase, so maybe a touch higher, but if you can start locating it there consistently, it might be more of a pitch that Crawdad hitters fear.
2-2 to Perez, wave and a miss. Curran gets him with the fastball. That'll end the 5th. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Alameda still trailing 4.
In the 5th inning.
Top of the 6th, Trey Galino recorded the final 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Now will work for the first time with the bases empty here in his 2nd appearance in conference play for Walnut Creek. Trey Johnson, Kyle Sandner, and Kyle Laxa he will face. But have a look at Dylan Scott's line, the starter today for Walnut Creek. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, no runs to his total. A fantastic start for Walnut Creek. It's part of the reason why they're up 4-0. The pitching has given them enough insurance to get the bats going. Heart of the Alameda order due up. Johnson, Sandner, Laxa collectively have reached base twice but are 0 for 4.
Right field, Kevin Parker Jr. And in first place, Riley Winchell.
Riley Winchell taking over at first base for Walnut Creek. That's his first appearance there this season. New defense behind Galino. His first offering to Johnson. A fastball too far inside. 1 ball and no strikes to the Merchants designated hitter. Johnson entered today with 2 homers, a .364 hitter in 9 games. He's been raking as a Merchant so far. The righty Galino, 1-0. Fastball well outside. So goes coast to coast on the fastball, and it's now 2-0 to Johnson.
Just got to split the difference.
Johnson, undecided where he's going next. 2 fantastic seasons at Skyline College. Looking to make the jump to the NCAA, the 2-0. Another fastball low.
Skyline College at their field, I played on a couple times. it gets really, really foggy, enough to where the fog rides so low that games have to get canceled there sometimes. So maybe trying to play somewhere a little more sunny.
The 3-0.
Hmm.
Get me over fastball at the lower third. Hitters count still to Johnson, and yeah, wouldn't be surprised. A California native of Brentwood. So he's certainly seen his son, but I mean, might have a point there, Harry. Skyline College, perhaps a bit too gloomy. You have to ask him, the former Crawdad. Galino, the 3-1. Fastball well inside, and Johnson aboard for the second time today via the walk. No out base runner for Kyle Sandner, the left fielder for Alameda. 0 for 2.
The left fielder, number 9, Kyle Sandner.
So now we'll see what Winchell's going to do over at first defensively for Walnut Creek. Manning it for the first time this summer. First time he's got a base runner to cover now. Sandner, a monster day yesterday against the Seagulls. 4 for 5, 3 singles and a double. Galino out of the stretch, a fastball high.
And Winchell was getting some work over there at first during batting practice, during consequently also fielding practice. Had a couple grounders over his way, made every one of them perfectly.
Galino, the 1-0. Curveball low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Sandner. That's now six balls to 1 strike for Galino in this 6th inning. Michael Olson, the big left-hander, warming up for Walnut Creek. Galino appears back in. Brief glance to Winchell at first. His 2-0. Fastball spiked in the dirt. Gets behind Clisby, and Johnson takes second base. Wild pitch officially. RBI chance with no one out in the top of the 6th for Sandner. Merchants trailing 4.
You don't want to turn this into a walk fest here. Still enough time for the Merchants to get back into this one, trailing 4 with 4 innings to play. Don't want to be giving up too many free passes or free 90s.
Galino. Couple glances to second, now delivers the 3-0. A fastball outside. 5-pitch walk before to Johnson, now a 4-pitch walk to Kyle Sandner. 2 on, no one out. Here comes Brant Cummings for Walnut Creek. See if he goes to Olson in the bullpen here, or if this is a composure meeting. Every time Cummings comes out, it's likely to be a change. Keeping it here for just a second until we figure out the nature of this meeting. And right now, just a conversation, so we will keep it here. Crawdad bullpen of late has been really fantastic. They will leave Trey Galino in.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2.
Yeah, just a get-right meeting from Skip.
2 on, Laxa to the dish. The shortstop 0 for 1, a line out to second. Reached on a walk in the 4th. Galino peers in, glance to second. First pitch to Laxa, fastball high. 3 straight first pitch balls for Trey Galino in the 6th. Karst still warming up for Alameda. And Olson continues to throw pitches in the right field bullpen. Galino, the 1-0. Fastball at the knees, strike 1.
And I have to think the leash might not be too much longer for Trey Galino, but if he can get back in the zone after that, he can settle down, get right meeting, can get 2 outs with 1 pitch. He's able to warrant a ground ball.
Crawdads trying to maintain the 4-run lead. Here's the 1-1. Fastball leaps out of Galino's hand early. 2 balls and 1 strike to Laxa. Former West Valley College guy, spent the spring at Pepperdine where he raked. 301 hitter in 51 games. 300 hitter also in his early summer with the CCL. 2-1 from Galeno. Off the end of the bat, hit into right field. Parker Jr. camps under it and puts it away. Trey Johnson thought about a tag, but retreated back to the bag over at second. One gone in the top of the sixth. Brings up Gomez, the left-hander.
Fabian Gomez.
And now Brent Cummings comes back out of the Crawdad dugout. They'll go to the lefty Olson to deal with the left-handed first baseman Gomez of the Merchants. Crawdad pitching has been rather fantastic the past couple of days. The 17 Ks yesterday. 2-0, 12 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 hits, just 2 walks. Paired to against San Luis Obispo in that same 12-inning time frame, 8 earned runs, 16 hits, 12 strikeouts, 9 walks. Anyways, we'll take a break while Olson gets warmed up, and we'll be back for the top of the sixth. Back as the top of the sixth continues on the Crawdad streaming network. Michael Olson, the left-hander, gets the call to face Fabian Gomez, the left-handed first baseman. And Olson, this season, 3 appearances in conference play, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hits, no runs. He inherits a 2-on jam with 1 out in the top of the sixth. Trey Johnson and Kyle Sandner worked back-to-back walks against Trey Galeno. Galeno, 1 inning, no hits, no strikeouts, no runs yet, 2 walks.
Yeah, would be in charge of the runners both on first and second. That's Sander on first and Johnson at second. So his good friend Michael Olson hoping to help him out, keep the runs off the ledger. Just needs 2 outs to do so. Galeno helped Olson out by getting the first out.
First baseman, number 8.
Olson, high 80s fastball and a looping curveball that sits around 75 miles an hour. Fabian Gomez has swung a lot already today. 2 strikeouts swinging against Dylan Scott, where he spammed the sliders, the left-hander did. Olson might try the same thing with the breaking ball. Lefty out of the stretch, kicks and fires. Curveball low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Gomez. Not exactly the first pitch you're looking for the Crawdad pitching staff.
No, trying to get back in the zone. You just got to command it. Look for contact, try and turn a double play.
Olson, the 1-0. Fastball outer third for a strike.
That said, though, Gomez has been chasing all over the place today. So, I mean, first pitch being out of the zone, you don't have to directly come into him if you don't feel like it. He might help you out.
Olson checks second, the 1-1. Curveball in the dirt.
Got to be a little closer to the zone than that, though.
Yes, you do. Sandner at first, Johnson at second. Merchants trail 4. RBI opportunity for Gomez to get them back into this game. It's been all Crawdads early on. 4 runs on 5 hits. No runs on 2 hits for the Merchants. The 2-1. Curveball hit high in the air, left center gap. Perez camps under it and puts the lever on it. Johnson thought about tagging from second, but he does not. Now 2 outs in the top of the sixth. That's the pitch right there that Olson wanted.
Yeah, and back-to-back at-bats with soft contact off the bat of a Merchant. Galino against Laxa, and now Olsen against Gomez. And they're finding the outside of the zone where they're just getting it off the end of the bats of these Alameda hitters, and it's working to success. 2 unproductive outs now. These runners on first and second with a force anywhere.
Infield playing deep for Reeder, the second baseman, 0 for 2. Olsen's first offering, a fastball grounded over to second, rolls. Has it, the flip to first with plenty of time. How about that? Michael Olsen escapes the 2-on jam that Trey Galino worked into with a pair of walks. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Crawdads still lead by 4. Back for the bottom of the 6th, Jack Karst gets the call out of the Alameda bullpen. The right-hander wearing the number 10, rising junior at Delta College. And have a look at this. The Crawdads, when they score 4 or more runs, have been rather fantastic this season. 7-3 when they do that. The last time they scored 4 runs and lost was against these Alameda Merchants last weekend, a 7-4 loss. Karst will face Moss, Winchell, and Parker Jr. First offering to Moss. Check swing, breaking ball on the lower third. Called a strike. Karst 7 innings, 1.29 ERA in 2 appearances this year. Fires a fastball well outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, one of their main guys to go to out of the bullpen.
Moss 0 for 2, a sac fly RBI.
Oof.
And swings through his shoes on the 1-1 pitch. Just a filthy breaking ball low.
Gosh, and I want to see him connect on one of those so bad. He really, really lays into the rip sometimes.
Moss hits in 6 of his last 6 games. Trying to extend that to 7 here. The 1-2, heater outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you can see why Karst has been such a mainstay in the bullpen. Has 1 start, 5 Ks, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed on the young season. There's a fastball, inner third, called strike 3. Moss down looking for the 2nd time today.
And that's just spotted inside corner. Seems like these Merchants pitchers have really been targeting the low and in quarter to the lefties with fastballs rather than the outside. You'd think kind of conventional wisdom, you try to go to the outside corners, but no, it's been the opposite today, and they've hammered it well. So Riley Winchell, his first plate appearance.
Yeah, Winchell comes in to replace Barrett Ronson in the top half of this inning at first base. First time he's appeared there for Walnut Creek. Getting his first hacks, hits one right side of the infield, squeaks through third and short. A base hit for Riley Winchell. He's got 2 hits in 2 games.
Well, why waste any time off the bench when you could just swing at the first one and get yourself onto first base right on time. Really well swung. Wasted no time. So showing off why Why to put him in?
And Shane Aldridge comes back up. Kevin Parker Jr. We thought might have subbed in defensively. Is not batting for Aldridge. First pitch to Aldridge. Fastball outside. Winchell at first. One down in the bottom of the 6th. Aldridge 1 for 2 with a single to lead off the 4th. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses below the belt and inside. Two balls and no strikes to Aldridge, the Menlo College guy. Inner third curveball misses. 3-0. Karst, second lefty he's faced and hasn't had quite as much luck like he did with Sutter Moss. Hitter-friendly count, Winchell staying close to the first base bag. The 3-0. Ball 4, Aldridge stays patient, works the 4-pitch walk.
And all that bat long, especially in those big final couple of pitches, was searching for that inside corner again, but couldn't get it. Tried with the sweeper, then the fastball. But now has worked himself into a bit of danger with Clisby. A guy's hit the ball hard today.
Absolutely. 2 on, 1 out. And Clisby at the dish hit a big double in the 2nd, which allowed the Crawdads to score their first run later. TJ Woodson drove him in on a subsequent RBI double. First pitch, Clisby swings, fouls it away over the Crawdad bullpen in right field. 0-1 to the backstop. Winchell at first, Aldridge with a lot of speed. Winchell at second, Aldridge with a lot of speed at first, excuse me. Clisby's been turning it on as of late. Hits in each of his last couple games. Another right-hander starting to get loose for Alameda. Karst close off stance. The 0-1 comes home. Breaking ball chopped over to third. Laxa collects at short. They try to go to second to get Aldridge, and they won't have it in time. Everybody's safe.
It was unique. Wow. So in between ball there, Rodriguez and Laxa both going for it. Rodriguez, the third baseman, tried to cut it off. Had a chance to turn two, but got under the glove. But right behind him, backing him up as he should have been, was Kai Laxa. And I thought they had an argument at an out at second, but it instead just goes down, I guess, as a fielder's choice. Perhaps an error on the third baseman. We'll see what's officially.
Yeah, E6, a fielder's choice nonetheless. Woodson steps in. The first pitch, a curveball at the knees, called a strike. E6 for Clisby, loads the bases for Walnut Creek, trying to extend their 4-run lead. The 0-1 from Karst. Another breaking ball. Sat low, but Gonzalez frames it up for a strike. Woodson 1 for 2, that RBI double we were talking about in the 2nd, then flew out to center in the 4th. Great 2-strike hitter. Karst comes home, a breaking ball that gets away from Gonzalez. All runners hold. Woodson, rising redshirt freshman at Baylor. He's been fantastic for the Crawdads this season.
Truly
Entered
excellent.
today. 250 hitter in 9 games. 6 walks to 4 Ks, 7 hits, 2 of them doubles. The 1-2, a fastball well outside. Peyton rolls on deck for Walnut Creek. Should Woodson find a way to reach, and then Elijah Ramos after him. Karst, his 2-2. Check swing, outer third breaking ball. The appeal to first base, Woodson did go around. 2 strikeouts for Jack Karst in this inning. Bases still loaded, 2 outs for Peyton Rolls. And out comes the pitching coach, pardon me, that's the head coach for Alameda. Albert Luna gonna go to the mound. Question is this just a chat, or are they calling to the bullpen?
Another righty out there in the bullpen. I believe he just kind of got up throwing, so looking like just going to work through what to do with the bases loaded. 2 outs, though. Not much that you need to worry about strategically other than just get a freaking out.
Nate Tichy, the right-hander, warming up for Alameda, buying him some time right now with this mound visit. Well, it doesn't look like Luna's going to pull Karst at this point. Rolls at the dish is 1 for 3, an RBI single in the second, reached on an E5 in the first, and stole 2 bags, came home to score on the error from Gonzalez behind the dish, trying to catch him stealing at third. Ball got past the third baseman Rodriguez, went into left field, and Rolls came home to score.
And maybe this meeting just simply about how you're going to attack Peyton Rolls. He's one of the hottest hitters on the planet right now. Not a lot you can do to get him out, so just trying to probably let him know, you got to fire it in the zone, nowhere to put him. He's got to trust the defense behind you. Something's going to come at you pretty hard probably. So exciting at bat for both sides.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Crawdads lead 4. Karst trying to escape the jam of his own making. First offering to the leadoff man Rolls, wave and a miss. That breaking ball outside has been devastating to the Crawdad hitters.
That is a perfect first pitch too. This gives Rolls no chance. If you make contact with it, it's probably hit softly, either to short or to second if he's in front, or a little behind it.
The 0-1, hard grounder foul towards third. 0-2 hole for Rolls, but another guy who's really good at 2-strike hitting.
Yeah, and a little bit more on that slider, so maybe going to see something hard inside or perhaps expand even further with the slider now way ahead.
Karst has this call from Gonzalez looking for a put away. The 0-2. Fastball lined the other way into right field. Diving effort from Smith. Did he come up with the grab? Yes, he did. How about the web gem for the Merchants? They escaped the bases loaded jam. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Alameda still trailing. Top of the 7th, coming up later today on our post-game show. The player of the game brought to you by Worth Group Restaurants, a local collection of East Bay restaurants owned and operated by Rodney Worth. Includes the Peasant and the Pear in Danville, the Bourbon Pear in Livermore, and the Golden Pear in Walnut Creek. Worth Group Restaurants, an official partner of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. And Harry, early on, looks like Dylan Scott, probably the #1 contender for player of the game here, as his counterpart out of the bullpen for Walnut Creek, Michael Olson, came in and got out of the 2-runner jam, facing Gonzalez, Rodriguez, and Landry. 8-9-1 for the Merchants order.
Well, Scott's my pick right now. Would take maybe another TJ Woodson RBI double to perhaps dethrone him.
Olson, first pitch to Gonzalez, a fastball that misses away. Gonzalez, 1 for 1, reached on a walk in the 3rd, then a single in the 5th. One of just 2 hits for Alameda today. The 1-0, a ball in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Galeno came in after Scott retired the first two he saw on some weak contact, then 2 walks to start the 6th. A fly out to right field induced to Laxa, and then the Crawdads went to the bullpen. Olsen, the 2-0. Fastball well upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes to Matt Gonzalez. Vance Haskins and Ryan Delaney still in the Crawdad bullpen on the hot list as guys who could come in. Olsen, the 3-0. Ball 4 outside. A leadoff walk for the 2nd straight inning for the Alameda Merchants.
I think Gonzalez, he's found himself in the leadoff spot in each of his 3 plate appearances, and he's got on all 3 times, so he's the 8-hitter, but man, acting like a leadoff and doing so excellently, getting on bases in the 3rd, the 5th, and now the 7th to lead things off. And Nico Rodriguez has done his part too. He's putting the ball in play. He got a sac bunt his first time, but fielder's choice last time. They have not been able to get Gonzalez home, though.
First pitch to Rodriguez, foul tip on the curveball low. 0-1 to the 3rd baseman. Gonzalez with some speed at first. Defensively for Walnut Creek, it's Winchell at first after replacing Ronson last inning. Rolls still at second, Woodson at short, Ramos at third. Clisby's behind the dish. Pettis in left still, Bull in center where he started. And Aldridge back in the game. Kevin Parker Jr. came in defensively in the top of the 6th, but then didn't come up to bat for Aldridge in the bottom of that inning. We'll have to get an official ruling on that later. Nonetheless, Olsen looked like he was going to come home 0-1, instead picks back to first. Winchell has it, but Gonzalez is plenty safe. Just some dirt on the jersey. The only damage there. Olsen sets at the belt. Kicks and fires. Curveball misses over the heart of the plate. Was a bit high.
Looked pretty good to where Clisby received it, but perhaps when it passed Nico Rodriguez was a bit too high.
It's my working theory.
He crouches down in his stance a bit too and isn't the tallest guy.
Now the 1-1. Curveball low this time. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Vance Haskins, the right-hander, warming up. Looks like he's about to start throwing pitches in the Crawdad bullpen. Meanwhile, Nate Tichy still throwing for Alameda. Olsen, the 2-1. Fastball inside. Hitters count to Nico Rodriguez. Rising redshirt sophomore, Wichita State, played 21 games with the Shockers this spring and has been a fantastic table setter at the bottom of the Merchant order this summer. Olsen's 3-1. Fastball high. A 4-pitch walk and a 5-pitch walk to start the 7th. Similar to how the 6th started. A 5-pitch walk to Trey Johnson, then a 4-pitch walk to Sandner. 2 on, no one out. Lineup turns over for Landry.
Well, and since Dylan Scott came out, we talked about limiting the walks being a big key to this game, maybe more so than getting a lot of strikeouts. But Dylan Scott, 6 strikeouts to 3 walks since he got pulled. No strikeouts and 4 walks. So Crawdad's bullpen a little shaky, getting themselves into hot water now to face the top of the order with a guy who's 0 for 3, but has hit it hard a couple times.
Olsen checks second twice. First pitch to Landry, a fastball in the dirt.
I mean, he didn't even have to think about swinging. He backed away from the plate just about. He's going to wait till he gets a strike, maybe even wait till he gets 2 because Olsen's just having trouble finding the zone right now.
Haskins beginning to throw warm-up pitches now. Olsen, the 1-0. Fastball top of the zone, called a strike. Landry again just backed away from the plate halfway while the ball was coming home.
Yeah, he was taking all the way, and that one maybe at a point. That one perhaps a little high, but nice frame job by Brendan Clisby.
Lefty's 1-1. Curveball gets past Clisby. Both runners advance. Wild pitch. It's officially ruled, and a 2 RBI chance now for Landry. Still no one out here in the bottom, or the top of the 7th, pardon me. Precarious territory for Walnut Creek now, Harry.
And that one might go down as a pass ball, too, on Clisby. Didn't look like much of an unusual pitch, just hit off the glove. He could have caught that, I think. But yeah, this is now getting a little bit tense.
2-1 now, the offering. Soft ground ball. Olsen collects the throw to first, pulls Winchell nearly off the bag. Landry runs into him. It gets into the Crawdad bullpen. Gonzalez scores. They're waving in Rodriguez. Now it's finally picked out as Landry heads to third. They're going to call it 2 bases awarded to Landry on a ball out of play. Nonetheless, 2 runners come in to score.
And that's one where you just got to have the presence of mind to maybe pump a throw at the most to first, see if the runner at third bites, because Olsen just had no chance. A lot of speed for Landry out of the box, even from the right-hand batter's box. You got to be able to kind of put it in your pocket there and not force the throw, because if you force a throw, it makes you speed up too quickly, and you see the error made on the throw because he had to rush it. So, again, there you just got to have the mindset to put it in your pocket, keep the runners where they are. Bases would have been loaded, but instead now 2 runs come in.
Still an RBI chance for Braden Smith, the right fielder. And Albert Luna came out looking for an explanation. Ends up getting it. I think he wanted the ball to still be live and allow his guy Landry to go to third. Now Brent Cummings for Walnut Creek going to have a chat with the home plate umpire. Either way, Landry's at second, no one out. 4-2 lead for Walnut Creek. Their 4-run lead has now been cut in half. Olsen walked 2 batters. Landry scored on the throwing error to first. Or Landry reached on the throwing error to first. 2 runs came in when it went to the Crawdad bullpen. Haskins still throwing in the bullpen. Now play is going to resume. Smith in the right-handed batter's box. Olsen peers in, then resets. Brings a glove to the letters this time. Now sets it back toward the belt. First pitch to Smith. Fastball outside. Just 1 first pitch strike in this inning for Michael Olsen, and that was to Nico Rodriguez.
The confidence reaching an all-time high for the Merchants now. A guy who's not throwing a lot of strikes and 2 runs in with nobody out. His chance for a big inning, could tie it up or more.
The 1-0 to Smith. Fastball high. I have to imagine this will be the last batter for Olsen if he can't get an out.
You have to think so, especially if it's another walk. I mean, you do have the base open at first, but nobody out. You need anything here.
Olsen exhales. Spins back to second. Long toss to Rolls covering the bag, but Landry retreated once he saw the turn. Still 2-0 to Smith, another Skyline College guy. Right ahead of Trey Johnson here in the Merchant order. The 2-0. Check swing, foul ball on the heater. It's fouled back. 2-1 to Smith. 4 extra base hits for Braden Smith in this summer. Now spanning 9 games. He's 1 for 3 today. Singled in the first, then grounded out twice subsequently. Olsen winds and delivers the 2-1. Flared, foul territory, first base side. Winchell under it, makes the grab. First out in the top of the 7th.
And Winchell's first attempt of the season over there at first made it perfectly.
Now batting, designated hitter number 42, Trey.
But more importantly for the Crawdads, they finally getting out in this inning, and that will really settle Michael Olsen down. You get a lefty up now, and this will probably now be Olsen's last batter. That one was kind of relying on the result of the at-bat last AB, but now with the lefty-lefty matchup, this is probably the guy that Brent Cummings wants Olsen to get, and why he's leaving him in.
Probably. Johnson, though, 0 for 1 with a pair of walks today. Olsen's first pitch to Johnson, a curveball low. 1 ball and no strikes. That's not the first pitch Crawdads were looking for. Got to attack these hitters, especially Olsen with the favorable handedness advantage.
On the same note, yeah, this is a must-get out for Michael Olsen on the mound.
The 1-0 to Johnson. Fastball outer third for a strike. Count is even at 1 now. 1 out. Landry still at second. 2-run lead for Walnut Creek over the Merchants here on this Thursday afternoon in Danville. Olsen brings the 1-1 home. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike to Johnson, the designated hitter of Alameda. Haskins looks ready to go in the Crawdad bullpen. Olsen delivers the 2-1. Flared shallow left. Woodson back from short to make the grab. Now 2 outs in the top of the 7th, pardon me. Sandner at the dish, the right-hander. And out comes Brant Cummings from the Walnut Creek dugout. Hasn't quite signaled to the bullpen yet, but it seems inevitable. There he does. Haskins comes in, trotting from right field. We'll take a break on the Crawdad Streaming Network. Two outs in the top of the 7th. Walnut Creek goes to the bullpen. Michael Olsen, an inning and a third, 2 walks, no strikeouts, no hits allowed, but 2 runs already on his tally. Isaiah Landry still at second base. Should he come home, he will be a run on Olsen. Anyways, Vance Haskins out of the bullpen for Walnut Creek, the right-hander making his 2nd appearance of the season for the Crawdads. Haskins, rising junior, formerly of Delta College. He's undecided right now, but a guy that made his debut just a week ago. An inning and a third, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, no walks, 8 batters faced. And the Crawdads going to him, looking for just some control here, Harry.
Really, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. Needs the command. And originally was a D1 guy through 7 2/3 at Fresno State his first year. And limit the walks fairly so, 4 walks on 7 2, but then multiplied his innings by 10 at the Delta College, and subsequently as well dropped his walk percentage down, or walk per nines down by a whole point. So, or a whole walk down, I should say, went from 4.70 to 3.75. So if he can stay true to that percentage right here, that puts the Crawdads in a good situation, because Michael Olsen was losing the command a little bit, so he needs to just be in the zone here, attack these hitters. You don't need a strikeout, just need outs.
Alameda's going to bring in a pinch hitter, Tyson Ellis, to face Haskins. Haskins glances at second. First pitch to Ellis, fouled away. Fastball in the upper part of the zone. Ellis, a rising junior at Cal State East Bay, is tied for 4th in the California Collegiate League in batting average. He sits at .500 through 8 games. 4 of those extra base hits. Merchant's looking for a spark here with 2 outs. Haskins, the 1-0 delivery. Low and in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Haskins, a guy who throws the 4-seamer and a slider. His last appearance, 20 fastballs, 7 sliders, 1 changeup, 1 curveball. The righty's 1-1 to Ellis. Fastball hit hard up the middle for a base hit. Bull fields in center. They give Landry the wave. The throw to home plate. Clisby has it. The tag, not in time, they say.
Real close there. It was a lot closer than I expected. Bull put a nice throw, kind of right on the money. Up the line a little bit, glove side for Clisby to reach back and tag, but the blazing speed of Isaiah Landry, too much to handle. So the first RBI base hit today for the Merchants makes it just a one-run ball game.
That it does. 4-3, Walnut Creek just barely leading. Laxa at the dish with 2 outs. Ellis does the job as the pinch hitter. An RBI single to bring this game within 1. Haskins out of the stretch. Off speed, clips the outer third. Nothing in 1 to Laxa. 0 for 2, Kyle Laxa is. Lined out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and flew out to right in the 6th. That run will go on Michael Olson, as Landry was his base runner. Pick back to 2nd, but Ellis is safe.
Yeah, so that will close the book on him. 3 runs. No, none of them would be earned. Because the error that started it all then retired 2 outs, so there should have been 3 outs, so anything after that is unearned.
The 0-1 hit high in the air to right. Aldridge tracks it back and makes the catch. Laxa 2 straight flyouts to right. Alameda gets 3 back in the top of the 7th. We'll go to the home half of the frame. Crawdads trying to get and lead back to more than 1 right after this. Bottom of the 7th, new pitcher for Alameda, Nate Tichy, the right-hander, rising junior, formerly of Pepperdine. The Crawdads jumped out to a 4-0 lead after 3 innings. Then Alameda has just gotten it back to within 1 on 1 hit, 1 error. 3 runs came across in the top half of this frame. Tichy to face 2, 3, and 4 for Walnut Creek, Ramos, Bull, and Perez.
It was the 8th, 9th, and 10th unearned runs of the season for the Crawdads defense and pitching staff, so something that they'll want to look at improve on, just limiting the errors. It's been a key factor in the games last week.
Tichy's first pitch to Ramos, fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Tichy, 6'1", 185-pound right-hander from San Jose. This is his 5th appearance on the season, 1-0 with a start, 9 innings, 8 Ks, 6 walks. The 1-0 to Ramos, fouled back, a fastball in the upper part of the zone.
Wow, and instant impressions on that fastball. Looks like it has some ride, so very efficient on the spin. A lot of movement, even just on a 4-seamer. So going to be tough to deal with. This hitter's going to look like it's elevating as it comes through the zone.
The righty's 1-1. Ramos hits a curveball high in the air to right field. Smith tracks forward and makes the grab. 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Bryden Bull, the left-hander, up to the dish. He's 0 for 2. walked in the 5th, his lone time on board.
It's be a big time for a big swing for the big, tall lefty. Again, he's really been kind of pounding the ball into the ground lately, trying to find a line drive, trying to get under it, but worked a really, really nice at-bat last time. Showing a veteran-like plate appearance, working a 3-2 count into a walk.
Tichy, his first pitch to Bull. Popped foul behind home plate. Gonzalez takes off the mask, tries to camp under it, and he does. Reaches just back and has it in the glove.
Well, and not quite the upward launch angle you want. A little too high. Probably about double of what he's targeting. About 30 degrees, 25 or so. That one was almost 90 up there.
Nonetheless, no one on, 2 out for Walnut Creek. Perez at the dish now. Crawdad left fielder is 1 for 2 today with a walk and a single. First offering from Tichy, fastball outer third. That's a strike. Perez broke an 0 for 10 slump in the third with that single and stole 2 bases, but was driven in by Sutter Moss on a sac fly. 0-1 pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Perez, the rising sophomore from Baylor, trying to put it all together here this summer for Walnut Creek. He started 24 games for the Bears this spring. Tichy, the 1-1. Breaking ball, inner third. It's a strike.
And just totally fooled the timing of Perez. He kind of gave up on it, saw it was too nasty. Wasn't what he was thinking. It was thinking fastball and just kind of let it ride in the zone and watch it happen.
Tichy shakes off a call from Gonzalez. Now agrees here. Turns and deals. 1-2, a fastball outside. Count even at 2. .99 at-bats for Perez this spring with Baylor. He's had 30 entering this game. 9 games played through conference play. This is 10th. The 2-2. Breaking ball sits at the knees. Called strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for Nate Tichy. Alameda keeps it within 1, and now a chance to go ahead in the top of the 8th right after this. Six, 7, 8 due up for Alameda in the top of the 8th. Vance Haskins still on the hill for Walnut Creek. Came in, got the final out in the 7th. But not before Alameda cut the lead to just 1 against Walnut Creek. Last time against Alameda, the Crawdads bullpen went 6 innings, 6 runs given up. All of them earned, 1.5 whip, just 2 strikeouts. And thus far, the Crawdad bullpen, no strikeouts, 4 walks issued after 4 1/3 of spotless ball from Dylan Scott to start this game. Gomez digs in against Haskins. Lefty is 0 for 3. Haskins kicks and delivers. Fastball high and upstairs. Gomez, rising sophomore at Delta, a teammate of Vance Haskins. Both played for the Mustangs this spring. Haskins was one of the aces there. His 1-0 pitch, fastball fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gomez, 30 games, .216 hitter as a freshman with Delta. So these guys, very familiar. Have to wonder if they played each other in fall ball at all.
Yeah, probably.
Haskins, the 1-1 to his former JUCO teammate, ripped on a line, deep into right. Aldridge looks to the track, bye-bye, and we're tied! Fabian Gomez, a solo blast to lead off the 8th, 4-4 game. The Merchants and the Crawdads.
Wow, well, if you wonder what he was sitting on, you wonder if these guys, again, if they're familiar with each other. That swing is all you have to see to understand it. That pitch hard inside, and he knew what was coming. I mean, he turned on it and burned on it. That ball was absolutely demolished. Hot off the bat. Now we've got a brand new ball game. We're starting over, Charlie, here in the 8th.
That we are. Here's Reeder. No one out, top of the 8th. First pitch from Haskins, outside fastball. Eerily similar to last game for Walnut Creek. A solid start. The bats got going early, and then the bullpen collapsed and allowed Alameda to take the game 7-4 on June 12th. This one, jam shot over to second, rolls under it, and collects. Now 1 out in the top of the 8th. Brings up Gonzalez.
Well, that's a good, that's just a great job on the mound after giving up a nuke to settle back in. 1 pitch out, hey. Soft contact, you see it a little less hot off the bat that time. Helps to reinstall some confidence.
First offering to Gonzalez, outer third fastball. It's a strike. 2 straight first pitch balls in this inning from Haskins. This time able to command a strike. His third batter faced this inning. Gonzalez 1 for 1, 2 walks and a single. 0-1 pitch from Haskins. Breaking ball misses low. Gonzalez hovering around that 300 mark this season for Alameda. This is his 7th game. Entered today, a .286 hitter. 4 extra base hits. 3 doubles and a triple. The 1-1, wave and a miss. Breaking ball low. Haskins got the 2 pitch out to Reeder following the solo blast to Gomez. Looking for another put away. His 1-2 to Gonzalez. Fastball outside. 2-2 count. Rodriguez waiting on deck. Pardon me. Alameda is going to pinch hit for Rodriguez. 2-2 pitch comes home, a breaker in the dirt. Full count to Gonzalez. Haskins resets, looking for his payoff pitch. Kicks and fires. Wave and a miss. He blew a fastball past Gonzalez. 2 outs in the top of the 8th, still tied. And up comes the pinch hitter. Different jersey number than anybody else on the Merchant roster. Apologies, folks. We try to get who this is. First offering to the right-hander. Breaking ball at the knees. It's a ball.
Well, we know it's not Nico Rodriguez. Nico Rodriguez, the 5'9" lefty.
Alec Nava, the guy they go to. Making his debut here. One 0 offering to Nava. Skied into left. Woodson over from short into foul territory. Makes the grab. And they retire Nava on 2 pitches. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, tie ball game, 4-4, Crawdads and the Merchants. Five, 6, and 7 due up for Walnut Creek in the bottom of the 8th. We're tied 4-4 between the Merchants and the Crawdads. Moss, Winchell, and Aldridge. Still Nate Tichy on the mound, took over to start the top of the 7th, bottom of the 7th, excuse me. Moss 0 for 3 right now. First offering to him. Hit hard on the ground to second. Reeder collects, throws over to first with time to make the out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Crawdad bats have been quiet, very quiet, since scoring the first 4 runs in the first 3 innings.
Well, and what they did so well early on was working long at-bats, taking pitches, finding their pitch, and then putting a ball hard into play. Now, though, 1 pitch, 1 out. That's not how they wanted to start. And it's kind of the trap they've been falling into offensively, is swinging early. They're still, again, making contact, but not drawing enough pitches out of these pitchers. And it's when you get into rhythm on the mound, it can be hard to flap as an offense. So try not to get too much into swing mode.
First pitch to Winchell. Breaking ball sits in the heart of the zone. 0-1. Winchell over at first base now. He replaced Barrett Ronson. It's 1 for 1. Had a hard hit single up the middle. Tichy ready to go. Brings the glove down from his face to the belt. Kicks and fires. Another breaking ball, similar location. 0-2 to Winchell. Back-to-back games with a hit for the Crawdad right-hander out of Livermore. It's 1 for 2, excuse me, yesterday. The 0-2. Wave and a miss. Tichy, off-speed, fastball. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th.
Well, that's an exact example of it. You see the pitcher just, Tichy doesn't have to really worry about his rhythm being broken up after the 1 pitch out. Just goes 3 pitches right in the zone. See you later. He knows the Crawdads want to go after it, so why not put it in the zone? Trust your stuff.
Throwing strikes, that's how you win in the CCL. Here's Aldridge. 2 outs, no one on. Tichy kicks and fires. Ripped into right field. Smith a couple steps back and puts it away on 1 pitch. Line out to right, and the Crawdads down 1-2-3 for the 2nd inning in a row. We go to the 9th, still tied. We'll be right back after this. Tie ball game, top of the ninth, 4-4 between the Merchants and the Crawdads. Top of the order, Landry, Smith, and Trey Johnson to face Vance Haskins. He allowed the solo homer to Fabian Gomez to lead off the eighth. And since then, we've been tied, but the next three batters that Haskins faced, he retired on 2 pop-outs and a strikeout swinging.
Isaiah Landry.
Landry 0 for 4. Reached on an E1 back in the 7th. 2 runs came across during Michael Olson's time. First pitch, outer third fastball. It's a strike.
God, it feels like in the last few innings, this guy's been up just about every other batter. They have done a great job, the Merchants have, of just flipping the lineup over, getting back to their top.
Haskins, the 0-1 delivery. Popped up, left field side, in foul territory. Perez camps under it. Does he have it in the glove?
Yeah.
Indeed,
Yeah,
he does. He made the grab. It was hard to tell from here.
Right fielder, number 32.
Yeah, it's a long run, a tough angle to see, but man, he had a good read on it the whole way and ended up finally getting under it. Man,
1
that's
out in the top of the 9th.
big first out is all I was going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 pitches for 1 out. Haskins now working against Smith. First offering. Breaking ball skied foul behind home plate, slightly to the right. Out of play regardless. Right-hander Diego De Santiago warming up for Alameda right now. The 0-1 to Smith. Fastball hit on a line over to right. Drops in front of Aldridge. Braden Smith, a 1-out single. Go ahead run at first base now for Alameda.
And one of the examples that is less frequent, but still
Now batting, the designated
happens
hitter,
reasonably
number 2, Trey
consistently in baseball, where hitting the ball more softer actually benefits the batter a little more, since Aldridge really had to race in there. That one just faded right in front of him. Lost gas right at the end, and so now one on, one out. Chance for the Merchants to take advantage.
First pitch to Johnson, fouled left field side, well out of play. 3 first pitch strikes for Haskins in this inning. Worked well against Landry, didn't get in his favor against Smith. Johnson, 0 for 2, reached on 2 walks in the 4th and the 6th. Tyson Ellis on deck, the left-hander. Haskins, a pick back to first. Winchell has to pop over to his left and snag it before it goes into the Crawdad dugout. Bottom line is Smith is safe at first.
And the way that head coach Albert Luna has chalked it up now with the pinch hitter in. Back-to-back lefties here in the middle of this Merchant order. That's a fairly tough task for the Crawdads bullpen, which now is Ryan Delaney, though the lefty, warming up, but I was going to say last 3 pitchers in, 2 have been righties.
Extended pause after a ball got away from the Crawdad bullpen. Now the 0-1 to Johnson, a fastball high and outside. Johnson struck out swinging in the first, popped out to short in the 7th. Apart from his walks. Prime opportunity for a hit here. Haskins out of the stretch, the 1-1. Breaking ball chopped to second, rolls, collects. On to second for 1, on to first. Ball sails over Winchell's head into the Crawdad dugout. Smith is out at second base, but Johnson now will head to second on the error.
And again, another example where you just got to have the presence of mind to put that one in your pocket. Never had a shot at the guy at first, Johnson, and then you force a throw where you don't have enough time to really think, and Woodson just fires it way over Winchell's head. Never had a shot, and it gives a free base to the Merchants.
And now out comes manager Brent Cummings for Walnut Creek with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. They're going to go to Ryan Delaney, likely, to try to get out Tyson Ellis. There Cummings points to the bullpen. We'll take a break here on the Crawdad Streaming Network. Top of the ninth, 2 outs, and the Crawdads go to Ryan Delaney, the left-hander, to face Tyson Ellis. Pinch hit Ellis did back in the 7th, worked an RBI single, bring this game even closer. Then Fabian Gomez, the solo blast in the 8th to tie it up, 4-4. The lefty Delaney to face the lefty Ellis. Ellis took over in left field from Kyle Sandner after pinch hitting, and he's one of the most dangerous bats in the CCL right now. 500 hitter, multiple extra base hits. He faces Delaney, the guy who is the Crawdad career leader in appearances. This number 34. Delaney this season, 2 appearances, 2 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. When he throws strikes, the stuff moves really well. But throughout his Crawdad career, this season, number 5, the question has been, can he locate?
So a nice move here now being made by Albert Luna, the head coach of the Merchants. You have the lefty announced so that you bring the lefty from the bullpen in. And then Tyson Ellis comes out, hands the bat off to now a righty coming in. It's the classic gamesmanship of playing chess, not checkers.
So Benji O'Rourke, the catcher, gets the call here.
It's a classic manager move.
O'Rourke to face the left-hander. First offering, breaking ball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Delaney kicks and fires the 1-0 delivery. Hit high in the air, down the left field line. Pettis giving it a chase. It goes foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Rourke out in front. And if he was just a little later, might have had a 2-run homer.
Yeah, you know, I thought 2 things on that. 1 being that I thought he hit it a little better. 2 being that I thought it was going to drop into fair territory off the bat, though. Did tail away because, like you said, he was out front of it, so it had the spin of a banana peeling left.
Johnson's at second. The 1-1 from Delaney. Breaking ball in the dirt. Clisby's on top of it. But 2-1 to Benji O'Rourke. Alameda and the Crawdads tied at 4. Go ahead run at second. O'Rourke represents what could be run number 6 for Alameda. Delaney, the 2-1. Off speed and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to O'Rourke. Delaney, the last guy scheduled to come out of the Crawdad bullpen today. This is going to be his inning to close. Hitters count to O'Rourke, the 3-1. Ball 4 upstairs.
And 2 innings of work. Haskins didn't walk a single batter as the only Crawdad pitcher to do so today, and, well, kind of shows why he was able to have success even when it wasn't maybe his best day. He did give up a homer, but was able to pitch to contact, get the outs. Only 1 strikeout, too. But when the Crawdads have walked guys, they've gotten into trouble.
First offering to Laxa, outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Laxa 0 for 3, a walk in the 4th, a line out and 2 flyouts. 2 on and 2 out. Johnson at second. O'Rourke at first. Now the 1-0 pitch to the Merchant shortstop is in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. And Laxa, he's due, but he can just sit and wait for Delaney to throw a strike.
Yeah, hasn't shown the consistent ability yet in this outing.
2-0 pitch from the left-hander. Weak contact foul ball over the Crawdad dugout.
And I'm surprised he goes after that one up 2-0. Hasn't seen a strike yet, only 1 strike so far before that thrown by Delaney in the outing, and he was pretty upset with himself going after it. That pitch was definitely off the table on the outside, so Laxa's definitely looking to swing. Looking to get a base hit.
Due for a hit. The 2-1 from Delaney. Flared into shallow center field. Bull a couple steps forward, makes the grab. The Crawdads escape the jam. We're still tied. Bottom of the 9th coming up. And Walnut Creek a chance to walk it off right after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. Bottom of the ninth, we're tied. 8-9-1 due up for Walnut Creek. 4-4 game between the Merchants and the Crawdads. Clisby, Woodson, and Rolls due up. Walnut Creek jumped out to that 4-0 lead after 3 innings, and then Alameda worked it back. A 3-run 7th, a solo blast in the 8th to tie it, and the last 2 half innings have been scoreless. Nate Tichy still on the hill, came in to start the 7th. He's gone 6 up, 6 down to retire the Crawdad hitters. 2 Ks in that time. Righty turns and delivers. Clisby waves and misses a fastball upstairs.
Well, the numbers don't lie. Charlie, we talked about it. 4 runs have kind of been the exact borderline for the Crawdads. 7-3 when they score more than 4, but less than 4, it's been kind of, or 4 or less, it's been kind of on that borderline again.
Tichy, 0-1. Wave and a miss again. A fastball past Clisby.
And the foot has just kind of been off the gas offensively since scoring those 4 in the first 3 innings. So momentum has almost fully swung to the Merchant side, you'd have to think.
That it has. Crawdads hitless in their last 2 innings at the plate. 6 total hits on the day. 3 errors defensively for each team. 0-2 from Tichy. Clisby waves and misses. 3 straight fastballs from Nate Tichy.
And Clisby was trying to do a little bit too much, swinging too hard. When you see high velocity, you'd think you'd have to swing harder, but it's really that you kind of want to swing softer, make it a little more simple, because the pitcher can supply the power when they have high velocity, right? You don't need as hard of a swing to get the same exit velocity that you would against a guy throwing a little slower.
Up comes Woodson. First pitch to him. Squares bunt, lays it down, and it trickles foul third base side. Woodson, 1 for 3 today. An RBI double in the second. Plated the Crawdads' second run of the game. Then flew out in the 8th to deep left center. Struck out swinging in the 6th.
And ever since that 6th inning, he's been 9 up and 9 down. So Woodson kind of started his stretch for Alameda pitching that has been utter dominance since the end of that 6th inning. He struck out, Rolls lined out. Then 7th inning was a 1-2-3, El Ramos, Bull, and Perez. And 8th the same, 1-2-3, Moss, Winchell, and Aldridge.
Yeah, Winchell had singled, then Aldridge reached on a walk. Clisby reached on an E6 to load the bases in the 6th. And then 2 outs to get out of the jam for Alameda. Last time the Crawdads really threatened to score. The 0-1 to Woodson, a fastball high. TJ Woodson has had a couple of clutch hits already to start his Crawdad career, starting in his 10th game of conference play. The 1-1 from Tichy. Hit deep into left. O'Rourke turning back to the track. It gets down. Extra bases. TJ Woodson, his second double of the game. The winning run at second base for Walnut Creek. And here's Peyton Rolls, a guy with monster contact ability and a guy who walked it off against these Merchants the first time these two teams met. Same spot, a runner on second, bottom of the ninth.
Wow, Woodson almost rode that one all the way out of here. A little bit of topspin at the end. I'd be shocked if Alameda didn't give Woodson a free pass to first here, or rather, Rolls a free pass to first to set up a double play, but it's Ryan Ellis, Mr. Crawdad, now grabbing a bat on deck, so you don't get much easier with the next guy.
Tichy out of the stretch. First pitch to Rolls, bounces in the dirt. Gonzalez gets on top of it, and Woodson stays at second.
It's potentially a game-saving block.
That it is. Had Woodson been allowed to advance to third, a ball in the air wins the game for the Crawdads. Instead, 1-0 to Rolls. Tichy brings it home. Misses outer third with the fastball.
Well, instead of the straight intentional walk, we might be looking at an quote-unquote unintentional intentional walk where you don't really give anything to Rolls, but if he swings and helps you out, then why not? But I don't think they want anything to do with the Crawdads leadoff man.
Probably not. Rolls red hot. The 2-0 to him. Fastball hit in the air, deep to center. Landry tracking back, makes the catch a couple feet in front of the warning track. Woodson tags from second, and he slides into third safely. Crawdads do move over the runner, and Ryan Ellis will come up to the dish as a pinch hitter.
Well, there you go. This is who you want in this situation.
Pitching, Albert Luna, the manager for Alameda, coming out to have a conference on the mound.
Man, almost a big-time swing by Rolls, too. They were playing him very deep. They had him kind of shifted absolutely perfectly, though. The center fielder, Isaiah Landry, was shifted over kind of towards his left in the right center, but also, again, very deep, giving him the angle to come in on a fly ball and try and get behind it with momentum to fire to third. Made a good throw, but obviously so deep that didn't really have a chance. But at normal depth, that might have ended the game.
Could have. Instead, it makes the winning run for Walnut Creek 90 feet closer. Ryan Ellis, Mr. Crawdad to the dish. Ellis hitless yesterday and broke an 8-game on-base streak. He didn't record a walk either against Menlo Park. They leave Tichy in the game following the mound meeting. Bulls on deck should Ellis reach safely. First offering to the left-hander. Popped up, shallow infield toward the third base side. Nava chasing in.
Ooh.
And makes a diving effort to snag it. That'll end the ninth. We're going to extras, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll have it right here on the Crawdad Streaming Network.
Extra innings, and it's go time. 9 was not enough to settle this thing, so more free baseball here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. It's free to watch all the time, but hey, why not just more free baseball? One defensive change for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Kevin Parker Jr. is back into the game, but this time at third rather than right field. Ryan Delaney remains on the mound, and a ghost runner will be placed at second. So that's Kai Laxa, the shortstop who made the last out, will be the ghost runner. I've yet to deal with a ghost runner in my scorebook in my broadcasting career, but here we go. I'm writing GR.
There you go.
So it'll be the lefty Fabian Gomez. Has a lot of power. Homered his last time up. Tasked with getting that runner in from second and supplying the Merchants with their first lead all game. First pitch from Delaney squares around, and it gets by Clisby to the backstop. And so the bunt, without any contact, is effectively successful. And the runner moves 90 feet away from scoring. So a big misstep by Delaney and Clisby. Now you just got to worry about keeping the runner at bay at third. Infield going to come in, of course, as that is the go-ahead run. Delaney now in the stretch. This one hammered down the right field line on a line, but it is foul. So very good swings from Fabian Gomez after striking out his first 2 times and then flying out in the 6th.
Absolutely. He's really red hot right now. Delaney and the Crawdads have to be extremely careful. And at this point, kind of just going to have to let Laxa score, try to retire Gomez, and then work back in a 2-run deficit in the bottom of the frame.
Next pitch called strike, 1-2. After the long foul ball, a taken strike. And well, Gomez is the reason we're still playing here. He hit the home run to tie the game up in the 8th. Solo shot to start off the inning. Now Delaney comes, 1-2. Pulled fair down the line, base hit. Go-ahead run comes in. Gomez heading into second as the throw from Aldridge and right is cut off. An RBI double, and Gomez has really turned around. A rough start to today and is working towards becoming the hero for the Merchants.
That he is. Just fantastic piece of pull side hitting. Gets a pitch he likes, drives it on the ground with the power.
So now Ethan Reeder, the righty, going to come up and in effectively the same situation that Gomez came up in. No outs, runner on second, facing Ryan Delaney, now with the platoon advantage. And Ethan Reeder, guy from Stewart Hall College, I faced him in my high school career. He'll drop down a bunt towards the first base side. It'll be Clisby to call it. Covering at first as Peyton rolls the second baseman, so a successful sacrifice. Score it 2-4 for the first out. So, I mean, if you're the Merchants, that's the greatest start you could have imagined. A wild pitch getting the runner to third, then a double replacing the runner at second, then a sac bunt. 1 run and 1 batter later than you originally expected. Now there's only 1 out, but you already have a run in.
Yeah, prime opportunity to drive in even more.
Now Matt Gonzalez takes ball 1 in the dirt. Clisby, nice block. Eventually finds it, but Gonzalez has done a great job today of slowing the game down with his at-bats. A couple of walks, a hit, has seen a 3-ball count 3 separate times, one time ending up in a strikeout. The only blip on an otherwise fantastic day has also scored a run. Ahead of Ryan Delaney, 1-0 as the infield creeps in. Hammer to short. Woodson off his body, keeps it in front, run stays at third, throws to first. Nice play by the kid.
Great infield in defense for Walnut Creek, just keeping everything in front. Get the job done there. Now 2 outs. Also working in the Crawdads' favor, they will also have a ghost runner to start the bottom of the 10th once we get there.
That's true.
So you just need 1 more put out here against Nava.
So Alec Nava gets his second plate appearance, fouled out behind third. Peyton, or it was rather the shortstop Woodson making a nice play as this one's ripped to the left, but over to his left. Dylan Perez in the gap puts it away, had a beat on it. So the Crawdads going to be chasing 1 in the bottom of the 10th, though Ryan Ellis will be placed on second base. 5-4, Merchants' first lead of the game.
Bottom of the 10th, Alameda took the lead in the top half of the frame. An RBI double from Fabian Gomez, plated the ghost runner Kyle Laxa. And now, heart of the Crawdad order with a chance to end this game. Bull, Perez, and Moss, their last chance, as Kevin Parker Jr. will actually start as the ghost runner for Walnut Creek. He came in defensively to replace Elijah Ramos, who was pinch hit for by Ryan Ellis in the bottom of the 9th.
I like that move a lot. I mean, clearly Brant Cummings had that in mind. Ellis came in to pinch hit at third, but you get Parker over there for defense, and now speed on the bags.
So Bull starts off at the dish. Diego de Santiago, rising junior at Northwest Missouri, comes in the game as a right-hander. 3 innings in 2 appearances for the Merchants this year. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a win. Bull 0 for 3 with a walk today. First pitch from the righty. Bull squares bunt, pulls it back. It's off speed and low.
It's rare to see Bryden Bull square into bunt, but showing that the Crawdads are playing for the tie right now, just trying to get the run back. Trying to try to extend it another inning and trust the bullpen to keep it clean and then bring home the run in the 11th.
1-0 offering from De Santiago. Same thing. Bull squares bunt, takes a strike this time. Off speed, hits the lower third. De Santiago, 23 appearances as a sophomore at Northwest Missouri State, 5.02 ERA, 5-2 record. The righty brings home the 1-1. Bull, high chopper to second, charging in. Reeder has it, fires to first. They do move Kevin Parker Jr. over. A productive out, at least, for Bryden Bull.
Well, yeah, it works absolutely the same as a sac bunt. But on the other end, you feel a little bit better. You get your A swing off still. And now the tying run 90 feet away. Dylan Perez just has to get it over the infield. Infield comes in.
Crawdads trail 1. Perez at the dish, 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the 10th. Perez 1 for 3. His last 2 at-bats, strikeouts. First pitch, hit hard on the ground to second. Reeder collects, peers down to third, and Perez out at first. 2 straight 4-3 ground balls. And now the Crawdads down to their final out. Sutter Moss to the dish.
He's been swinging it sweet. And it was announced before the game, if he gets a base hit, everyone here gets a token. Would not be a better time than now, Charlie.
Not at all. Moss 0 for 4 today, a sac fly RBI in the 3rd. His most productive plate appearance. De Santiago facing his 3rd straight left-hander. First pitch to Moss. Check swing. Fastball outer third. The appeal to third base. Moss did not go around. Moss, 2-game hitting streak. 6 hits in his last 6 games. Looking for number 7 here. The 1-0 in the dirt. De Santiago is going to take his time after receiving from O'Rourke. De Santiago has this offering. Comes home with the 2-0. Moss takes a fastball low. 3 balls and no strikes. Riley Winchell on deck. Merchants have climbed all the way back, down 4-0. They lead by 1 now. The 3-0. Moss took it all the way. Get me over fastball. Still a hitter's count, though. Nava at third, Laxa at short, Reeder and Gomez, 2nd and 3rd. The 3-1. Moss, huge hack, wave and a miss. Full count, the Crawdads down to their final strike.
And he wasn't just trying to tie the game, he was trying to win it himself. That was a rip. Now 3-2, action pitch. Moss, he wants to swing, so I think I found the pitcher. I'm throwing something just a little out off the outside, tailing away.
De Santiago, the payoff, looking for the save. Ball 4. Fastball misses away. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, bottom of the 10th. Up to the dish is Winchell now. 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout.
Well, that's the exact pitch he went with, but Moss, it was lost a little too far outside, but Moss, great job to lay off and fight the urge.
Battery meeting. O'Rourke comes out from behind the dish to talk to De Santiago. Rest of the infield will come in as well. And how about Riley Winchell, a guy who was absolutely dominant this spring at Chabot College. 32 extra base hits, 19 doubles, 3 triples, and 12 homers this year for Walnut Creek. In 19 at-bats, just 3 hits in conference play. 5 ribbies, though. Has been able to drive in runs, but in this at-bat, either needs a walk or a hit. The righty from Livermore, ready to go. Heading to Sac State this fall, along with 3 other Crawdads. De Santiago, out of the stretch. First pitch, not close, a fastball outside. Righty in favor of De Santiago here on the hill. He brings in the 1-0. Winchell waves and misses. Just a nice pitch at the top of the zone there, Harry. Couldn't tell if it was off speed or a fastball, but it had some movement.
Yeah, brought the heat. Just sped it by him. Winchell kind of pulled off on it a bit. Want to go the other way with that one where it was delivered.
Moss at first. Parker Jr. at third. The 1-1. Winchell takes the fastball up. Patient approach here from the Crawdad first baseman.
That's what you need to have. Keep the line moving. If you take a walk, it's what's the potential winning run at scoring position. So
Parker Jr. moved over from second on the Bryden Bull ground out to second. Stayed put on the Perez ground out. Now the 2-1. Fastball misses away again. Hitter friendly to Winchell. Moss worked a walk on the full count in the last at-bat. Aldridge is on deck should Winchell work his way aboard.
I'm wondering if he'll have the take sign here.
De Santiago kicks and fires the 3-1. Hit high in the air, deep to center field. Landry camps at the warning track. That one leaving the yard! Riley Winchell! Walk-off blast! 7-5, the Crawdads win. Are you kidding me, Harry?
Wow.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, off the bat, looked like he kind of got it off the end, but I watched Isaiah Landry keep tracking it back and back. The wind completely dormant now, not blowing in anymore. It just kept on going, and Riley Winchell's the walk-off hero. He took on the deepest part of the yard, Charlie.
Oh my goodness, Winchell does it against his former summer ball team, played 2025 with Alameda, and sends them home packing here at Monte Vista High School in Danville. Number 2 of the year for Winchell, tied for first place on the Crawdads, and now tied for third in the CCL. Oh my God, Harry, what a blast.
That was unbelievable, Charlie.
Unreal stuff,
wow.
folks.
What a shot.
The Crawdads win 7-5 here at Monte Vista. We'll take a break, folks, and we'll bring up Riley Winchell for a post-game interview on our post-game show right after this. Welcome into the Crawdad postgame show. Charlie Limoncelli alongside Riley Winchell, a walk-off 3-run shot in the bottom of the 10th. Riley, just take me through the emotions right now, man.
I mean, pitcher was a little wild in the first bat in front of me. Got a little information off my boy Sut. Shout out Sut for working that IB and giving me the opportunity to do this. Sorry, still a little gas from going around. But, yeah, kind of was all around the zone, swung out a pitcher's pitch on a 1-0, and then kind of redefined, and then worked that middle in and turned on a pitch.
What did he give you right there on that 3-1?
Fastball, down. Went down and got it.
That was exactly what you were looking for?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I look for every single time, and then if they want me to spin over anything, turn on it.
Did you know it was gone off the bat?
I had a good feeling. I just didn't want to do anything, and then it just caught short. I've seen it too many times, and I mean, wind wasn't going too well today, so had to actually get into that one.
Man, dead center field you took it, man. I mean, you know, signature win for the first time this season with Walnut Creek. Second time we've walked off Alameda. I mean, this is your former team. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, all love to these guys. They've treated me right, but had to go back and do them dirty.
So now 2 straight games with a hit, Riley. Anything kind of different with your swing or your approach?
Yeah, I mean, I think the confidence aspect comes with the game. I mean, it's baseball, ebbs and flows. Hunting my pitch and then hitting my pitch is going to turn the confidence around, and that's what it just did for me. So, yeah.
1,000%. Riley, anything your new fans at Sacramento State are going to want to know about you heading into this fall?
I mean, I hope they got good fishing out there because I love fishing.
That you do, my friend. Thank you so much for your time, Riley. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break here on the Crawdad postgame show, and we'll get right back to you, Harry and I, back on the broadcast in just a second. Back here for the Crawdad postgame show brought to you by Up the Creek Records. Up the Creek, a great record shop right next to the Ace Hardware in downtown Walnut Creek. They buy and sell new and used vinyl records, CDs, and cassettes, as well as skateboard gear and a variety of other fun gifts like yo-yos and hacky sacks. They also have an all-ages live music venue that hosts local bands every weekend. So check out who is playing at upthecreekrecords.com or their Instagram at Up the Creek Records. Let's check out what's been happening up the creek. And how about our player of the game? Today's player of the game brought to you by Worth Group Restaurants, a local collection of East Bay restaurants owned and operated by Rodney Worth. Includes the Peasant and the Pear in Danville, the Bourbon Pear in Livermore, and the Golden Pear in Walnut Creek. Worth Group Restaurants, an official partner of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. And Harry, how about Riley Winchell? Easily player of the game.
No question.
2 for 3, the single in the 6th, struck out in the 8th, then a 3-run blast to deep center, bottom of the 10th, walks it off against the Alameda Merchants, a team. And now the Crawdads have 2 walk-off victories over. I mean, Harry, what a special game we just saw.
Unbelievable. I mean, it got off to a commanding start, like we kind of forecasted might have had to be the key. And it was going all well, and then the offense went dormant. It was 7 straight innings without a run, and then Alameda climbed back in it. But, man, nobody got me. I know Riley Winchell got me, and we were kind of joking the whole game that, and Dylan Scott, I mean, you can't have this game without Dylan Scott's outing. He was outstanding off the start. 6 strikeouts, just about 4 innings pitched. And we were joking, this is the point I was getting to, is that we were joking that player of the game is Dylan Scott until whoever walks it off.
Exactly.
Well, that was, though Dylan Scott's performance was absolutely outstanding. I mean, you can't deny the heroics, the fireworks of a 3-run walk-off homer down to your last strike. I'm just at a loss for words for that. I didn't think it was going off the bat.
I didn't either. It was I knew it was a deep drive to center, but I mean, center is kind of a no-fly zone out here at Monte Vista. But Riley Winchell tapped into all the power. 12 homers at Chabot this spring, his 2nd of the year after going to left center in game number 3 of conference play against the Seagulls. Man, special hit for Winchell. 3-1 count, just gets a fastball a little bit inside, pulls it straight to center. Anyway, folks, let's have a look at today's sweet play of the game, brought to you by Batter and Icing, an official partner of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Batter and Icing is a locally owned custom bakery with 2 retail outlets in Danville and Pleasant Hill. Since 2018, they've been creating everything from birthday and wedding cakes to corporate event desserts, all made fresh with quality ingredients and plenty of creativity. Learn more or place an order using the Crawdad fundraiser part of the Order Online tab at www.batterannicing.com. Orders can be picked up at any Crawdad home game. And Harry, it looked like up until this point, it was going to be a great defensive effort in the top of the first. A hard hit grounder from Isaiah Landry on a line. Ramos at third, dives glove side, picks it up, fires across the diamond to first to get the out with, about a step ahead of Landry. But all that is moot now because Winchell just went dead center for a walk-off blast.
Well, the 2 top candidates for Batter and Icing sweet play of the game are the first and last. That's kind of cool.
That is pretty awesome.
But yeah, I think again the last one, the heroics, the fireworks, it trumps it all. That's the play of the game.
Absolutely. Harry, any final thoughts before we wrap up this broadcast, my friend?
Just got to keep it rolling tomorrow against the Seagulls, a team that the Crawdads have religiously destroyed. So looking to just keep the momentum tomorrow in San Bruno. 6 p.m. first base, 6:05 p.m.
Yes.
I believe.
6:05.
So, under the lights in San Bruno, Crawdads look to keep it rolling. Look to make it 3 straight wins. So looking to make it to 4.
Yeah, 3 straight wins for Walnut Creek. Heading to San Bruno tomorrow for the first time in 2026. Crawdad Seagulls 6:05. We'll have it right here on the Walnut Creek Streaming Network. For Harry Satrakian, our lovely broadcaster, and Jack Brooks, our amazing broadcast producer, Charlie Limoncelli signing off after a fantastic ride in Danville. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.